following is a presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Texas A&M with 2 on, but 2 outs. Here's the payoff pitch from Yoder. Swung on and missed! The Flames win! They make history! Dots Team of Destiny is going to the Supers!
Destiny, defined as a predetermined course of events. For Liberty softball, the events of the past week have us wondering what might be next.
Now the challenge before us against Oregon, a highly ranked team, very strong team, but so are we. So let the battles begin, right? Let's just be the best we can be. And if that's good enough, then we will be at the World Series.
After knocking off the #1 team in the nation, the Lady Flames now stand at Destiny's door, looking to chart the next course for Oklahoma City and the Women's College World Series.
Here's the pitch, hit hard to left field. Savannah Jessie has done it again! The Flames tie this game up! Second and third, Flames tied at 3. 2 outs, here's the pitch to Roop. Hit hard to left field! Oh my! Rachel Roop has done it! The Flames take the lead!
Liberty versus Oregon.
Don't worship the sport of softball. Let softball be your worship back to the Lord.
Live coverage of Lady Flames softball and the NCAA Super Regionals is next on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. This is Liberty University softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. You're locked into the Flames on Deck Circle, powered by Segra. Stay tuned for an in-depth look at today's game, including our pregame chat with Lady Flames head coach Dot Richardson. Liberty Softball is brought to you by Segra, a proud partner of Liberty University. Segra offers customized business technology solutions. Learn more at segra.com. By Carter Bank, life lived full. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom First Credit Union, start banking for good with Freedom First today. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. And by Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices, nobody. Time now for the Flames on Deck Circle, powered by Segra. Now we take you to the ballpark for exclusive pregame coverage of Liberty softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Hello, everyone. Welcome out to Eugene, Oregon, where the Lady Flames of Liberty are taking on the Oregon Ducks in the Super Regionals. The Lady Flames, their first ever appearance in the Supers. My name is Jamie Hall. Alongside of me is Joe Carmany. And, Joe, as we take a look at this matchup, the Flames on the season, 50-13, Oregon 51-8. The most combined wins of any of the Super Regionals as far as the 8 total brackets of essentially the Sweet 16 of softball teams. Oregon, the Big Ten champs. Liberty, the Conference USA champs. Dot Richardson Pinto, Coach of the Year in Conference USA. Melissa Lombardi, the Coach of the Year in the Big Ten. And offense on both sides and some pretty good pitching on both sides. As we take a look, how did the Flames get here? They beat Texas A&M, winning 8-5 on Saturday, losing 14-11 on Sunday, and then winning the if necessary game 6-5. A Roop solo homer, Rachel Roop, Savannah Jessie, then a 2-run homer to tie it, and Rachel Roop another 3-run homer to get the win. Kaylin Yoder comes in for the save. Elena Escobar, who pitched so much over the course of that weekend and really left it all out on the circle, she does get the victory. A total of 26 of the Flames' 35 runs that was scored in that regional came with 2 outs. And, Joe, when you look at it, this is a team that doesn't shy away from the moment, and it doesn't matter if it's the leadoff swing from Savannah Woodard hitting a blast or if it's 2 outs in the 7th inning and the Flames coming up with some clutch hits to tie a ball game up. Really, there is no stage that's too big for this team.
No, and there really isn't, and it goes all the way back to the start of the season. Three games in a row in early February, the Lady Flames faced a deficit in the 6th inning or later and won those games. So 8 games this season the Lady Flames have won when coming back in the 6th inning or later. both wins against A&M, scored 5 runs in the 6th to take the lead. And then 20 total comeback wins this season for Liberty, so they're never out of the game. They stay steady, stay with it, and as we saw with Savannah Jessie, she had no hits in that regional and then came up with the biggest hit to keep things going, and then Root put the exclamation point on to get that 6-3 lead.
And speaking of another team that really has been up against the wall, how about Oregon? Also, they hosted the regionals, but they had to claw their way out of the losers bracket, and they beat Stanford twice on Sunday with a Des Patman walk-off homer in the final game. They're now looking for their first World Series appearance since 2018. Of course, this would be the first ever Liberty World Series appearance. This Oregon squad, they rank in the top 10 in scoring, ERA, and fielding, a plus 314 run differential over the course of this season, which leads the NCAA. They also are one of the top 10 teams in the country in attendance. They're averaging over 2,045 here at Jane Sanders Stadium, which holds 2,500, and I got a feeling it's going to be absolutely packed today. We look out into center field where there's the Bob, the bleachers, which is named after Jane Sanders' husband, Bob, who donated the money for this facility. It's already full. I don't know if there's a seat left out in the bleachers in the outfield, and the rest of the chairback seats around the diamond look like they're filling up pretty quickly as well. And there's a lot of standing room, which will be right near us because that's where we're at. We're on the concourse just outside of the press box. And so we'll be amongst a lot of green and yellow as the course of the game goes on. The Flames are hoping to keep them as silent as possible. Of course, both of these teams are very good in their conferences. Oregon, new to the Big Ten, has won 8 championships. That's the most this year. And the Flames have won 9 Conference USA championships among all the different sports. So they each are in line to win their respective Commissioner's Cup as far as their conferences are concerned, but they've got a couple of big goals left to accomplish. And for the Flames, it would be getting to the World Series for the first time, and for Oregon, it would be getting back for the first time in 7 years. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get the thoughts of head coach Dot Richardson-Pinto. Liberty and Oregon in Game 1 of the Super Regionals coming up after the top of the hour here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns. Our products are moving, and our trucks are rolling. We share a passion and a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. More information about Earthright Mid-Atlantic, 434-200-9716 or at erepower.com.
This is Lady Flame Softball from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames Sports Network. The excitement of Lady Flame softball is on the way. Now the on-deck circle, powered by Segro, rolls on with the pregame thoughts of Liberty head coach Dot Richardson, presented by Earthright Mid-Atlantic.
Well, Coach, welcome to your first Super Regional. For someone who won a national championship, you didn't have to deal with Super Regionals back when you were playing. It was a totally different system. It's a fun system, though, as far as the fans are concerned when it gets down to the final. You don't have these giant regionals like back in the old days with 8 teams or anything like that. Right now, I say the old days, that was only the early 2000s, but with the Super Regionals, it turns into a 3-game series for the World Series, and it couldn't be any more simple than that.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to be here. The team is really pumped up. You can tell they're just feeling it. They're zoning in. They're locking in. Best out of 3. Winner goes to OKC.
And every little girl that's playing softball, and from the smallest little level to travel ball to high school ball to college ball, they dream of Oklahoma City, and there's just something to it now. And I know the girls probably still, it's a little surreal to them that they're this close, but how do you kind of wipe out those thoughts and realize that you've got a very attainable goal coming up?
Well, we're 2 wins away. It's the closest Liberty softball's ever been to the World Series. And the key is you just got to play, as I've said before, not one game at a time, not one inning at a time, but one pitch at a time. So if we are locked in and doing our job and doing what we need to do, our best is good enough. You can't really give it any more. And if our best is good enough, we'll move on.
And your team is battle tested. You've played really big name schools in the February, March timeframe every single year. So these girls have played again. And then last week, of course, Texas A&M. So there's no level that's going to scare them.
Oh no, they've gone way past that. Even, I would say even 8 or 9 years ago, because we have been playing competitive teams and realized they're just like us, right? Like Liberty University is the largest Christian university in the world. And when you represent more than just yourself, but training champions for Christ and centered around Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, right? The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, you just got to get a point where finally you trust enough to just surrender it to Him and say, hey, you've given me the gifts, you've given me the talents, and it's my honor back to you to use those talents to the best of our abilities. And He's given us opportunities, and that's all you can ask for. When you put talent and opportunity together, a lot of great things can happen, and they're happening.
You've had some young ladies that are banged up, and you also have to be a little travel weary coming from Texas back to Lynchburg and then all the way across the country to Oregon. What is the physical and mental status of the team right now?
Well, we've had a couple days to kind of get over that, but it is drained more on those that are traveling. So the odds in the favor, you would say, are to Oregon because they are playing at home, playing in their home crowd. Their last seeding on the poll was 6th in the country. They were seeded for the tournament 16, but they're highly ranked. But we also took down the number 1 seed, Texas A&M, which gives us momentum. And the girls believe, they're not worshiping this game. They're letting the sport be their worship back to the Lord. And when you do that, you play with a lot of freedom. I've been getting texts all over the country, 600, 700. I mean, it's just amazing. People reaching out and saying how fun it is to watch the team because they're playing with such competitive freedom. And that's exciting, and that's what a coach wants to see, is their team to believe in each other, and believe they're playing for a higher purpose. And when you do that, that's the best way that we can thank the Lord.
This team in Oregon, good pitching staff, one of the top 10 pitching staffs, but then they also put up a ton of runs as well, so they pose a lot of challenges.
Yeah, that's why they were ranked 6th in the country. I think there's 315 Division I softball programs in the nation. Our last ranking was, I think, 26 or something. So we've been up there in the top 25 for most of the season, and with a little bit of injuries, we're dropped a little bit, but hey, we're on the roll, and right now, everyone knows that we're fearless, and we're going to have some fierce, competitive attitudes and effort, and as a result, great things happen. Taking down the number 1 isn't the end of it. We need to keep going, because once the momentum stops, once when it starts, boy, you don't want it to stop. You just got to keep rolling with it.
Last quick one for you. We saw Elena Escobar have to come out of that last game. She was just spent after a great weekend at Texas A&M as far as just being a warrior. How is her status right now?
She's doing really well. She said she's feeling very good. Her Achilles has given her an issue for probably, the past 2.5 months. She's been battling with it, and she's going to persevere. She's a competitor, and these times off that we've had since taking down Texas A&M has been a nice rest for her and good treatment. and she is ready to go. This is going to be a challenging game. It's a battle, but we've been through it with A&M, and we won the war. Now we're going to start a battle with Oregon, and let's win the war to get our way and earn it to OKC.
Sounds good, Coach. We wish you the best.
Thank you so much. God bless everyone. Go Flames Nation, and go Flames!
We'll be back with the Relevant Law First Pitch right after this here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Owned and operated by a Liberty alum, Larry's Tire and Auto Repair offers complete auto service, including tires, preventive maintenance, and more. Larry's Tire carries all major brands and is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Larry's Tire has 2 locations in Lynchburg and at Able Tire in Concord. And coming soon, Larry's Tire will expand to a new service center in Forest. More information on Larry's Tire is available at larrystireservice.com.
Your business deserves a bank that values relationships and prioritizes customer service. Since 1979, First Bank and Trust Company has been delivering on these very commitments. Our bankers have been accessible, consultative, and provide a degree of understanding developed through years of commercial experience. First Bank and Trust has the expertise and capital to fund small and large projects up to $32 million. More information on First Bank and Trust and its services is available at firstbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Frank Good Builders is a proud supporter of the Liberty Flames. Frank Good Builders and its partners design and build beautiful custom homes in the Lynchburg and the surrounding areas. From designing a plan to picking out fixtures, Frank Good Builders works with you to design and build your truly custom dream home. Frank Good Builders can be reached at 434-238-3710 or frankgoodbuilders.com.
Looking to buy a home or refinance a mortgage? Now is the time to take advantage of your one-of-a-kind offer from Alcova Mortgage. As an employee or alumni with Liberty University, you are eligible to receive a lender credit that equates to 1% of your total loan amount up to $5,000. This offer provides you with some much-needed savings while also helping you tackle your closing costs. Visit alcova.com/liberty today for details. Offer does not apply to broker loans.
Alcova Mortgage, NMLS ID 40508, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, Equal Housing Lender.
This broadcast of Liberty University Athletics is authorized under rights granted by Liberty University to Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment and is intended solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. The accounts, descriptions, and broadcasts may not be transmitted in any form without the express written consent of Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment and Liberty University Athletics. The announcers are selected by the Liberty Flames Sports Network and approved by Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment.
Texas A&M with 2 on, but 2 outs. Here's the payoff pitch from Yoder. Swung on and missed! The Flames win! They make history! Dots, team of destiny, is going to the Supers!
Destiny, defined as a predetermined course of events. For Liberty Softball, the events of the past week have us wondering, what might be next?
Now the challenge before us against Oregon, a highly ranked team, very strong team, but so are we. So let the battles begin, right? Let's just be the best we can be. And if that's good enough, then we will be at the World Series.
After knocking off the #1 team in the nation, the Lady Flames now stand at destiny's door, looking to chart the next course for Oklahoma City and the Women's College World Series.
Here's the pitch, hit hard to left field. Savannah Jessie has done it again. The Flames tie this game up. Second and third, Flames tied at 3. 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Roop. Hit hard to left field. Oh my! Rachel Roop has done it. The Flames take the lead.
Liberty versus Oregon.
Don't worship the sport of softball. Let softball be your worship back to the Lord.
Live coverage of Lady Flame softball and the NCAA Super Regionals is next on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Liberty Lady Flame softball is on the air. Live play-by-play coverage of Liberty Lady Flame softball at the NCAA Super Regionals comes your way now on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. This game is brought to you by Segra, a proud partner of Liberty University. Segra offers customized business technology solutions. Learn more at segra.com. Liberty Softball is also brought to you by Carter Bank, life lived full. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom First Credit Union, start banking for good with Freedom First today. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. And by Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices, nobody. Now let's take you out to the ballpark for the call of the game. This is Liberty Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Well, welcome out to Eugene. Jamie Hall and Joe Carmany with you, and a huge crowd on hand. For Oregon and Liberty in the Super Regionals, they'll play today, they'll play again tomorrow, and if necessary on Sunday as well. The winner has a ticket to OKC. Teams have been announced. Liberty will be the visiting team in this opening game, and Oregon in their black uniforms with the bright yellow numbers will take to the field. The Flames are in their red unis with white pants and light blue stirrups. Flames will start Savannah Woodard. She plays second base and bats first. Rachel Roop is out in right field and hits second base. Both seniors. Roop comes into this game just one of the best players in the history of the program. A 383 record, or I'm sorry, 383 average, and he was named All-American earlier in the week. Bryn McManus bats third and plays first base. She's a junior. Alyssa Henault is a designated player and bats fourth. KK Madry out in center field bats fifth. Paige Dorr, hometown hero, grew up here in Oregon. She's out in left field batting sixth. Rachel Crane plays third and bats seventh. Savannah Jesse's behind the plate and hitting eighth. And Jemiah Byram is playing short and batting in the 9th spot. The Flames will put Elena Escobar in the circle. 24-3 record on the year, 2.03 ERA. This will be her 33rd appearance, 25th start, 158 and a thirds innings pitched. Elena with 171 strikeouts, 43 walks. Her counterpart will be Lindsey Grine. Grine, also a right-handed pitcher, 28-2 on the season, 2.15 ERA. This is her 49th appearance, 26th start, 163 innings pitched, 212 strikeouts compared to 63 walks. The winner of this 3-game series will go to Oklahoma City. For the Flames, it would be the first time ever. For Oregon, it would be the first time since 2018. Savannah Woodard steps in. The left-handed hitter takes the first pitch for a strike. We are underway. The sun is starting to set here in Eugene in what has been a beautiful day. 68 degrees, the temperature at game time. Could get just a little chilly by the end of the game when the sun does go down if the wind's a bit brisk. The 0-1 is sent out into left field, but it's going to hang up shy of the track where Kai Lushar will make the catch. Kai Lushar in left field, Kedri Lushar in center field, sisters. Ayana Shaw out in right field. The infield for Oregon, Katie Flannery at third, Paige Sinicki. Kaylin Jones at second. We'll get back to that alignment. Right now, though, Rachel Roop takes the first pitch for a strike. Stephanie Ma'ake is at first. Emma Cox behind the plate, and we mentioned Lindsey Grine in the circle for the Oregon Ducks. Roop awaits the 0-1 pitch. Here it is. Hit hard, but high and foul and out of play. Good solid cut, but got way underneath it. The dimensions here at Jane Sanders Stadium, 200 down each line, 220 to center field. Here's the pitch, bounces up. Dirt infield, but an all-turf outfield. Similar to what the Flames play on, so they should be very familiar with that. A couple of giant Oregon Duck logos in the left and right center field gap and on the wall, and then Oregon written in center field. Bleachers above that, which are full. The 1-2 fouled back. Chair back seats that go from home plate all the way to the ends of each dugout. Looks like about 15 to 20 rows up in most sections. Another 1-2 to Roop. Ground ball to third, and it just trickles foul. So we'll do it again.
.706 was the first pitch time. Scheduled for 7:05, but first pitch was at 7:06.
Pacific, it's a late night for those that are listening in back in Lynchburg. Tomorrow won't be quite as bad. 7 o'clock local there as this 1-2 is high, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Rachel Roop. Nobody on, nobody out. I'm sorry, 1 out. Nobody on, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Liberty and Oregon in the Super Regionals. The right-handed Roop digs back in. The 2-2 pitch. Hit hard out into the right center field gap. It's going to go all the way to the base of the wall. Roop digs in and slides down to second for a double. Hard hit ball by Rachel Roop, and the Flames have a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
That's double number 19 for Roop on the season.
With Roop at second, Bryn McManus will step up. Chance for the Flames to get something on the board in this first inning against Lindsey Grine. First pitch to McManus is taken for a strike.
And this isn't the first time the Lady Flames have seen Grine. They faced her last year when she was pitching for Virginia Tech.
Grine takes a long look at her wrist to get the pitch call. This one is on the outside corner for a strike, and McManus falls behind 0-2.
We might be seeing a little wider zone than we saw in College Station.
McManus also an Oregon native from McMinnville. The 0-2 to her. Grounds it down to third. Rope's going to have to stay put at second. The throw over will be in time, so now it'll take a 2-out hit, but the Flames certainly did a lot of that in the regional and College Station. Alyssa Hinault will step up to the plate. Hinault, the left-handed hitter, sees the first pitch go back to the screen. Roop's going to advance down to third. Went over the top of the catcher, Cox. So Grine with a wild pitch, and the Flames now have a runner 60 feet away. The left-handed Hinault, hitting .326 on the season. Takes this pitch for a strike. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Matt Dial is behind the plate, calling the balls and strikes. Chris Drum is at first. John Baca is at second, and Chad Spittler is at third. Here's the 1-1. Just missed. 2 balls and 1 strike. Oregon faithful wanted that, as did Grine. Roop's at third. We now have a 2-1 pitch to Paige Dorr. It's high. 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 out. No score in the top of the first inning. Liberty and Oregon. And now the 3-1. Swung on and missed. Big cut by Hinault, but she was underneath it. Don't see anything on the gun out there unless I just didn't look quick enough. We see miles per hour, but we don't see an actual amount as this pitch is popped up into foul territory. But there was a play to be made by Lushar, Kai Lushar, but she's not able to. She was there. It actually fell in front of her in foul territory, so we'll do it again. Another 3-2 pitch coming to Dorr. Now I see it. The last pitch was 68 miles an hour.
Yeah,
so we do have a gun.
Lushar's been fighting the sun out there. She's got the shades on, but she might not have gotten that one right away.
Another 3-2, another foul ball. In the sun right now, there's a very unique structure above the press box and the home plate seating, and that shadow is in shallow left field, but the sun is still shining bright in the rest of the outfield. 3-2 to Dorr. Fouled it off of her foot. We'll try again.
And we were wondering last night when the sun was going to come out here, and it has in full force today.
Yeah, we didn't see the sun yesterday. Cloudy and overcast throughout. Right now there's sun in the infield, sun in the circle, but shadows in the batter's boxes. Another 3-2 pitch comes to Paige Dorr. Popped up again, and will this get out of play? It will. Into the crowd. High pop behind home plate. So quite the battle going on between Hinault and Grine. Roop still stands at third. No score. In the top of the first inning. The crowd rumbles again. Here's the payoff. Ball four. Hinault draws the walk, wins the battle, and the Flames have runners at first and third with one out.
That's her second walk of the NCAA postseason. She came in with a .529 on base percentage in the postseason. Hit by pitch 3 times, 5 for 13 at bat.
We're going to have a quick visit in the circle for Oregon. The Flames have runners at first and third, but with 2 outs. And KK Madry to the plate. KK certainly a threat to bunt the ball, as we see head coach Melissa Lombardi and assistant coach Sydney Romero talking to the team in the field. And with KK having that ability to bunt, even though there is a force at second, that really doesn't matter. It would be just about having to beat KK to first before she got there. First pitch from Grine is taken for a strike. KK on the season, a .412 hitter. Does have a couple of home runs, 30 RBIs. A couple of big gaps for her to shoot for. Here's the pitch. Taken for a ball. 1 strike. Hinault at first, Roops at third. 2 outs and a 1-1 count to KK Madry. No score. Here's the pitch. Checks her swing. Did she go? Runner goes, and now the runner comes home and she's trapped. They try to double still, and Roop is going to be tagged at third base. The throw went down all the way to second. Hinault slid in safely. But Roop with a little bit of a late break home, so the double steal did not work out for the Flames, and they leave a runner stranded. It'll still be KK Madry's at bat in the second inning. But after a double and a walk, the Flames not able to get anything across in the top of the first inning. Oregon's bats coming up after this timeout here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit us at centuryexteriors.com. And Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram.
Lynchburg Nissan is a proud sponsor of Liberty University Athletics. Stop by Lynchburg Nissan now to take advantage of $6,000 off MSRP on select new cars or rates as low as 2.9%. Lynchburg Nissan, home of the million-mile warranty. Nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
As a Flames Club member, you get access to premium seating, parking, and hospitality on game day. Go to libertyflamesclub.org today to learn more. You're listening to Liberty Softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
No score as we go now to the bottom half of the first inning. Liberty had a chance. They had runners at first and third with 2 outs and tried a double steal. Alyssa Hinault took off towards second. The throw went all the way down, but Root wasn't able to get a good enough jump off of third, so she was kind of hanging tight until she saw the throw go down. When she saw it get to second base, she took off, but by then she was dead to rights. They didn't even attempt to tag on Hinault. They just threw home and got Rachel in a rundown. She was tagged out, and that's how the first inning ended for the Flames. And now we see what's coming up here for Oregon as Kai Lushar leads things off, the lefty. Her sister Kedri Lushar will bat second. The first pitch to her from Elena Escobar is taken for a strike. Tough spot for the hitters at this moment because the ball is being released in the last bit of sun that's traveling through the infield. The 0-1 is taken for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. So with the Flames having the infield in right now, third base and shortstop is in the sun. Second base Woodard is in the sun, but at first base, Bryn McManus is in the shade. This pitch is taken for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Got away from the duck.
Oh yeah, the Oregon Duck is just in front of us right now. Those that are watching in on Facebook and YouTube probably saw that as this pitch is bunted and no play for Escobar. She took it on 1 hop. And the speed of Oregon, which is so deadly, gets them a runner at first base on an infield hit.
And Lushar leads the nation with 58 stolen bases on the season. KK Madry's tied for second with 50. 166 as a team for Oregon.
And between these two teams, there's a lot of stolen bases represented. Kedri Lushar takes the first pitch for a strike.
Which is fitting that we're in Tracktown, USA.
Yeah, we can see the world famous track facility just across the way. Out behind left field as this pitch is taken for a ball.
Liberty Track and Field hopes to have some athletes represented there at Hayward Field in 3 weeks at the Outdoor Track and Field National Championships.
The 1-1. Runner fakes to go. This pitch is swung on and missed, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kedri Lushar. Kai Lushar stands at first. The 1-2. Runner fakes going again. It's taken for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Ducks in the all black, and their helmets have the feathers, the yellow feathers on both sides. 2-2, fouled off, out of play.
Standing room only crowd here. They said in the meeting that there were only 100 standing room tickets, but it seems like there's about double that at least standing out along the concourse.
Yeah, great crowd for sure. The 2-2 from Escobar, taken for a ball. Jesse has to pop up expecting the runner to go, who did not again.
The runner has 2 of those sliding mitts on. Normally see 1.
Here's the 3-2 pitch, foul back, and sometimes you wonder what level is it protecting your fingers and what level is it giving you an extra 2 inches to get to the bag? Because those things are massive. The 3-2, low, ball 4, and Oregon's got runners at first and second. With no outs in the first, no score here in this first game of the Super Regionals. Stephanie Maake will come up. Three-time Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Hit a 300-foot home run this season. That would have gotten out of some major league ballparks. First pitch to her is taken for a ball. According to legend, it would have hit the wall at Fenway. That says it's 315, but likely is less than 300. Certainly when the Dodgers played their first 2 seasons at the Coliseum, 300 feet would have easily gotten you a home run down the lines. We're going to have a visit to the circle as the Flames want to talk things over. Casey Fagan-Graham. Matter of fact, pretty much the entire Liberty staff has come out. Sammy Fagan comes out to give a new pitch, no, actually to give some shades to Savannah Jesse, and Coach Dot Richardson's going to talk with her outfielders who trot in. They meet near the dirt.
One big absence for Oregon in the starting lineup is Riley McCoy. She's a top 3 finalist for National Freshman of the Year with 19 home runs. She sustained an injury in the regional final, so she's not available today.
We actually were talking to a fan at last night's Emeralds game. Eugene Emeralds, the minor league affiliate of the Giants. We'll talk more of that here in a second, but the first pitch from Escobar. Maake squares the bunt, pulls back. Jesse throws down to second to see if she can catch up with Kai Lushar, who was straying off the bag a bit, but she slides back in safely. There's a 1-1 count to Maake. Escobar fires it in. Just missed outside. 64 miles an hour from Escobar. Runners at first and second, no outs, no score in the bottom of the second inning for Oregon. Here's the pitch. Popped up, but it's going to get out of play behind the screen.
It was pretty close to where the last foul ball went into the stands.
Saw some video highlights, and I didn't catch which park it was, but there were 3 foul balls that the same guy caught within the span of a couple innings of a baseball game. 3-1, ground ball to Byram at short. She's going to go to second for 1 and just get the force out there. The runners will be on the corners with 1 out, and a decision for Oregon as to whether or not they want to challenge this call at second base. There's at least going to be a conversation. And we'll see if the earmuffs come on. Not really earmuffs, it's headset. But that's the universal signal in the sport of baseball and softball for challenging. And it doesn't look like there will be a challenge. So Flames get an out.
I think the discussion was whether she completed the catch, because she definitely would have definitely caught the ball in time. I think that's what they were talking about.
Well, we
this is gonna be,
have something going on here.
Oh, pinch runner at first.
Okay, pinch runner at first. Still not sure exactly what the conversation with the home plate umpire is. There's
reporting the sub at this point. I don't know why
it takes 2 people.
No. Well, I guess that's their official score, or bench scorer, so she wanted to be right in the middle of it, to have it in her scorebook.
All right, well, we've got one out, and Oregon has runners at first and third. Now Coach Dot Richardson is talking to the home plate umpire. I'm not sure what
she thinks the pop-up slide interfered with Woodard's potential to. That's what she's talking about. She thinks the runner from first stood up, and she thinks that was interference and didn't let Woodard throw to first.
I'm not sure that there would have been a play at first, but you do have one of a very few Oregon Ducks that are not necessarily a fleet of foot that was running down, and Maake. But everything's going to stay the way that it was, so there'll be runners at first and third with one out. Paige Sinicki will take the first pitch. The runner goes, and the pinch runner for Oregon is Reagan Legg.
There was no one covering second on that bunt coverage.
So an easy swipe of second, runners both now in scoring position for Oregon. The first pitch was taken for a ball. Now there's going to be a squeeze and an easy run for Oregon, and they're going to have a runner all the way down at second base because the Flames weren't covering second. So a two-base bunt, essentially. A run-scoring two-base bunt. Flames had rotated around for the bunt, tried to scoop a throw home, but there was no chance of getting Kai Luchar at home plate. She scores.
There's a challenge happening.
The pinch runner is now at third. Legg. Sinicki, who bunted the ball, is at second. I'm assuming that'll be a single and advancing on. What would you be advancing on in that spot? Okay, so they're challenging that the runner on third left early on that squeeze. If somehow that were the case, that would change everything here. Right now, Liberty's in a mess. One run has come through already, and there are still runners at second and third, so it basically was a swap. One run scored, and the hitter ended up at second. So, yeah, started off second and third. It ended up second and third with one run coming in. So a big review in this game. If the Flames are correct, it would be as if that pitch didn't happen.
And the batter would still be up, and the runner from third would be out, and the runner would be on second with two outs, and no run would score.
Yeah, so one run with one out and runners at second and third, or no runs, a runner just at second with two outs and the same hitter. So this is a big call in this game. The umpires are on the headset with Pittsburgh. They're down the third base line, standing along the railing of the Oregon bullpen. Oregon's dugout is behind the third base line, and the Flames are on the first base line.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I saw a challenge leaving early at third on a non-sacrifice fly situation.
There would be a spot, though, knowing that it's a bunt, that you would have maybe a thought of cheating it a little bit, but I'm sure slowing this down frame by frame. We don't have a monitor out here on the concourse where we're located. Joe's trying to pull it up on his computer and see if we can get a look before the umpires give us the decision. We don't also have an umpire mic here in Oregon as we did in College Station, so we'll just have to hopefully hear them through our crowd mic, and if not, we'll relay what's said. But as we sit right now, Liberty is trailing Oregon 1-0. In the bottom of the first, there's one out, and the Ducks have runners at second and third with Des Patman, who was the hero in the game against Stanford that sent Oregon here. She hit the walk-off homer in the bottom of the seventh inning. We have a decision, so the umpires come back out on the field and will let us know what the situation is.
It's going to stand.
Joe, you're 0 for 1.
She was still on the base when that ball was released. Unless they had a different angle, she was still on the base.
Well, Joe, I'm glad you're wrong. And so now they're doing the housekeeping here. We have to erase that bunt. That takes the run off the board. What a huge call in this game. So the run comes off the board as Kai Lushar left early. So she's the second out. Stephanie Legg, the pinch runner, has to go back to second. Sinicki comes back to the plate, and we'll have to see what the count on her was. That pitch basically just didn't happen. What a great challenge. Sinicki takes for a ball, and the count, I think, is 1-1. The scoreboard has not reflected any of this yet. They still have one out. It should be 2 outs. The 1-1 is called for a strike, we think. The scoreboard just says 1-1. The umpire just now has signaled 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 with 2 outs and a runner at second base, and now no runs in. Escobar fires it in. It's hit hard out into left field. Dorr goes back to the track and makes the catch. She robbed a home run. Are you kidding me? Paige Dorr with the 3rd out of this first inning. What an eventful, emotional roller coaster, and we've only played 1. The Flames thought they were down 1-0. And just then they thought they were probably going to be down 2-0. And it's still 0-0. Although the scoreboard doesn't know yet, it still says 1-0 Oregon. I'm sure they'll get that sorted out here in a moment. So we've played 6 outs, and I'm already a wreck. No score, Liberty and Oregon here in the Super Regionals.
Curious about the housing market in Central Virginia? The caring, competent, trusted advisors at Carl Miller Realty have over 100 years of combined experience. We are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk with our winning team. That's carlmillerrealty.com.
The Liberty Flames thank Segra for their support. Segra collaborates with companies to offer business-only, carrier-grade connectivity, cybersecurity, voice and cloud solutions tailored to meet their diverse needs. Segra offers these solutions across a fiber network that spans 28 states in the U.S. and is headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. They can be reached at Segra.com or 833-GO-SEGRA. Segra, a proud partner of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
You're listening to Liberty Softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
No score as we now head to the second inning. There were 2 different times in the bottom of the first inning that Oregon thought they had scored. The first was on a squeeze bunt, but after a Dot Richardson challenge, it was deemed that the runner left third early, so that was an out. The run came off the board, and then with a runner at second base, Paige Sinicki hit the ball to the wall in left field, but Paige Dorr was able to jump up and snatch it. Took away a home run, so the crowd thought there were going to be 2 on the board at that point, and we've still got no score. Flames had their chance in the first inning as well, as Liberty had runners at first and third, but a double steal went awry, and Rachel Roop got out on her way home, actually on her way back to third in a rundown. So both these teams have had their chances in the first inning. If someone's just tuning in or just watching the live stats and they see 0-0 in the second, they think, oh, it must have been a pretty quiet first inning. No, it wasn't quiet. It was about as loud as it could get without a score coming across. Wild. KK Madry, who was at bat during that caught stealing, will now lead off the second with a fresh count. She takes the pitch for a ball, 1-0. Lindsey Grine in the circle, the right-handed pitcher for Oregon, winds and fires. Madry hits it high in the air, right center field. Coming over to call off Lushar was Ayanna Shaw. Liberty with 1 up, 1 down.
So apparently the explanation was the runner, her foot left the base and then she reestablished. And then, so that was what was illegal about it.
Ah.
She accidentally came off and then came back, and then before the pitch left her hand.
I see. Paige Dorr, the defensive hero from the last inning, takes the first pitch for a ball.
And how many times do we see the defensive hero come up either first or second in the next half inning?
All the time. Dorr from Coburg, Oregon. Drills this out into center field, but a diving catch made by Lushar. Kedri Lushar gets a hug from her sister Kai.
And they did the same thing when Kai caught one in the first inning. That family connection there, like we saw the Bishop twins at first and second for years. They got that chemistry in the field.
We got a couple of nominees for top 10 for sure. Rachel Crane takes the first pitch for a ball. Flames with 2 outs and nobody on now. No score in the top of the second inning. I'm going to still put Paige Dorr's a little higher on the list than Luchar's because she robbed a home run. But that was pretty sweet too. Crane takes a ball. She's heading the count now, 2 balls and no strikes. Flames going to have to get a 2-out hit in this spot, but we've seen that over the course of the postseason quite a few times. Here's the 2-0. Strike call. 67 miles an hour on the gun from Grine. And now the 2-1. Popped up and off of the facade of the overhang and gone hard into the crowd, but fortunately in between a couple of rows, nobody was injured. We're definitely in play. It would take just the right hit. Our best chance of getting the ball where we are, because we're out on the concourse ourselves, would be for it to hit up into that overhang and then ricochet to us, sort of like that. 2-2, ground ball, third base, and it's foul. Oregon thinks it's fair. The throw came to first, where a tag was made on Crane, but the home plate umpire had the call and said that it went into foul territory.
Dot motioned quickly that was foul, and the umpire did as well.
His is more important
right, correct.
in that spot, but yeah, I think it was close. And now Crane is holding her left shoulder.
Yep. We saw her in the collision in the regional final on Sunday at third base. When she was in the field, she had to come out for a couple innings. But she's tough. Michael Worthy's out there, athletic trainer. Looks like she's going to stay in.
Quick conversation. She's going to battle through it. It's a 2-2 count with nobody on and 2 outs. Flames have certainly had some banged up players of late. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Grind. High and back to the screen again, no one on. We saw a pass ball, or a wild pitch I should say like that, in the first inning, advanced a runner. And it's a 3-2 count for Rachel Crane. Savannah Watley is with the team and is on the roster but not in the lineup. We'll see her availability as Crane takes this pitch for a ball. And the Flames get a base runner with 2 outs. Second walk of the game for Grind. And Savannah Jesse, one of the heroes in Texas. She had a 2-run homer against Texas A&M to tie the ball game up in the if necessary on regional final Sunday. The righty awaits the right-handed pitch from Grind. Just missed. Crowd getting restless. Jemiah Byram is on deck. She is in the lineup in the place of Savannah Watley, who has dealt with a couple of different injuries over the course of the last 6 weeks. This 1-0 is high and outside. Oh, nope. That caught the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, that outside corner looks like it's open for business, but inside not quite as much.
Jesse awaits the 1-1. Same spot, but just outside, I guess. 2 balls. It looked like the exact same spot to me. 2 balls and 1 strike. Finishing that thought on Watley, though, she got hurt just in a freak accident at New Mexico State and missed some time. As here's the 2-1 to Jesse. Ground ball foul past Coach Dot Richardson at third base. We'll have a 2-2 with 2 outs and a runner at first, no score. In the top of the second. Watley came back from that injury, kind of re-aggravated the facial injury against UVA, missed a little more time, came back, and now her most recent injury is in her throwing arm. Here's the 2-2, foul right back our way. If there wasn't a screen, that would have probably taken us out like a 7-10 split. Our heads don't look like pins. Our heads look like 2 more bowling balls, though. Another 2-2. Another foul ball down the third base line. We'll try again.
Off
Crane
speed.
still is, you can see she's favoring that left shoulder as she stands down at first base. She's trying to fight through it. We saw Hinault have to come in and play a couple innings for her at Texas A&M. Another 2-2, another foul ball. That was in the same spot as the next to last foul ball, coming back in the screen, our direction. We are, as you look out to the field, we are to the right of the press box, sitting on the concourse. Not a bad spot to watch the game, though. And it's a nice night. Here's the 2-2, hit hard out into right field, but it's going to hang up and will eventually be an easy catch for Shaw. So the Flames leave a runner at first. And we still have no score heading to the bottom half of the second inning between Liberty and Oregon in the Super Regionals here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Are your feet preventing you from living life? Hi, I'm Jonathan Cotton, and you may have heard my Good Feet story, how I love my arch supports so much that I bought the store. Since then, thousands of customers have found relief from foot, knee, and back pain. I love to hear their stories of walking, running, and just enjoying their new life pain-free. Don't let foot, knee, or back pain keep you from living the life you love. Come into the Good Feet store for your free fitting and test walk. Visit goodfeet.com for the location nearest you. We look forward to seeing you soon at the Good Feet store.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. More information about Earthright Mid-Atlantic? 434-200-9716 or at erepower.com.
Get the latest on your favorite Flames team with the Liberty Flames podcast. Just search Liberty Flames wherever you get your podcasts or go to libertyflames.com. This is Lady Flames softball from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames Sports Network.
Well, pretty much all of the field is in shadows now. There's just a little bit of, just a sprig of sunlight in left center field and kind of almost where the right fielder would stand. So the right fielder might have to deal with sun for a few more minutes on what has been just a gorgeous day here in Eugene after a kind of an overcast, dreary day yesterday. It's currently 66 degrees. Could get down into the 50s by the end of the game, but certainly not as bad as we thought it was going to be at this time yesterday. It was actually quite chilly, and it was actually earlier in the day than this. It was quite chilly. So we had expectations of maybe needing an extra jacket or sweatshirt, but as it sits right now, it's actually been quite warm. No score as we go now to the bottom half of the second inning. Des Patman, the designated player, will lead things off.
Transfer from New Mexico State.
Patman awaits the first pitch from Escobar and takes it for a strike. Patman was the hero as she had the walk-off home run to beat Stanford on Sunday and send Oregon to the Super Regionals, which they got to host because Liberty upset Texas A&M. Count evens at 1-1 to Patman. Here's the pitch. Strike call. Off speed by Escobar and a beauty. Patman is a senior, hitting .306 on the season. 10 home runs, 32 RBIs. Ground ball back to Woodard. Woodard, nice play, throws over, and a good scoop by McManus to get the out. It's amazing how in this speed of the game, how as that ball was hit, you could already tell the crowd thought it was a base hit. There was getting ready to be a roar as Woodard was able to flag it, throw quickly to McManus, who dug it out for the out. We've seen some pretty good defensive plays in this ball game so far, as the first pitch to Cox is taken for a ball.
At least 3 probably start plays so far in the scorebook. Yeah,
Absolutely. We'll tell you about the other 2 here in just a second, as this pitch is taken for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. If you put a varying amount of stars, I don't know what the most would be. 4 stars. This pitch is fouled up and out of play.
That's the most you can get as a server at Cracker Barrel. It's 4 stars.
Good to know. Good to know. How about a hotel or restaurant?
That's mostly 4, isn't it?
4
or 5.
stars. Is it 5? 4 or 5? I'm not sure. 4 sounds right. We'll go with 4. This pitch is outside for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. Paige Dorr got 4 stars. She robbed a home run in the first inning. Kedri Lushar got 3 stars on a diving catch for Oregon, as this pitch is fouled out of play. And that play with Woodard, probably just 1 star. Not that that means it's not good. Anything with any star is good in your scorebook. hard hit foul ball, and that might have caught one of her teammates just outside of the dugout. I didn't see who it was. It was probably
that looked like Flannery in the
hole hitter, yeah, who was just standing in the opening of the dugout and got hit on the foul ball with Cox coming around on it. Counts now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch off speed, and she checked her swing and draws ball 4. First walk of the game for Escobar. And we'll have to see if Flannery is okay. She is not in the on-deck circle at the moment.
Little friendly fire there.
First pitch to Jones. Kaylin Jones takes the ball. So a runner at first. That's Cox. Cox only 1 stolen base on the season. Strike called. Jones held back. Jones hitting .321. Got 1 homer. 27 RBIs. The lefty with the infield in awaits the 1-1 pitch. It's a called strike. But she was going to run up to slap at it. She held. But now falls behind in the count 1-2. Here's the pitch. Line drive to Byram. She's able to pick it off the ground in the air and then throws over for the double play. And both the catch was only inches off the ground and the throw to first was picked by McManus inches off the ground. And maybe put a star on that play too. That was pretty good all the way around. Nice catch by Byram and a nice job at first base by McManus, who hasn't been playing a lot of first base this year. Matter of fact, her first opportunity to play first was a week ago this season. So the defense is the story so far in this game, as we have no score heading to the 3rd inning here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Frank Good Builders is a proud supporter of the Liberty Flames. Frank Good Builders and its partners design and build beautiful custom homes in the Lynchburg and the surrounding areas. From designing a plan to picking out fixtures, Frank Good Builders works with you to design and build your truly custom dream home. Frank Good Builders can be reached at 434-238-3710 or frankgoodbuilders.com.
You're listening to Lady Flames Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Now for a look at the out-of-town scoreboard built by Frank Good Builders.
Our score here in Eugene, Liberty and Oregon are tied 0-0 as we go to the 3rd inning, and it has been a busy day. We've already got, Joe, at least 1 team in the World Series, which means 1 team has been eliminated already.
Texas Tech defeated Florida State yesterday 3-0, 2-1 over Florida State today. So Texas Tech will go to Oklahoma City. Ole Miss took the first game at Arkansas today, 9-7. South Carolina at home, 9-2 over UCLA. Final. Florida beat Georgia 6-1 in Gainesville. Clemson last night, 7-4 over Texas. Game 2 today is currently 5-5. They're in Austin, bottom 5th. Nebraska with a 5-2 win at Tennessee. Final, and then Oklahoma 3-0 over Alabama. So the visiting team is 5-3 so far in Supers.
I feel like Nebraska might have been underseeded a little bit. Flames with their at-bats here in the 3rd inning. Jemiah Byram, who made a nice play to end the 2nd, catching the line drive and then quickly firing over to first to get the double play. She'll get her first swings, takes a ball. And takes ball 2.
Okay, you talk about Nebraska, you talk about Texas Tech. The the story for both of those is the circle. Jordy Ball for Nebraska, Nigel Kennedy for Texas Tech, both transfers, generational type talents there. So they're really carrying their teams, even though they're both unseeded.
A little quick conversation in the circle between the pitcher Grind and the catcher Cox. Jemiah Byram, she's no stranger to hitting home runs against really good teams. She hit one against Oklahoma. Takes ball 3. Off of Kelly Maxwell back in March of last season. First career hit was a home run against Oklahoma. That's not a bad start. Here's the 3-0. Takes all the way. It's a strike. 3-1. First hitter of this inning.
Had one in the conference tournament as well.
Yeah.
Did Byram.
Yeah, against La Tech. Ball 4 outside. Jemiah Byram works a walk, and that is not what you want if you're Oregon. Coming into the game, Byram only hitting 189 on the season. She will gladly take the free pass. As we go back now to the top of the lineup to Savannah Woodard.
With a new walk-up song is Savannah Woodard.
We'll have to get the lowdown on that here in just a second. First pitch from Grind, fouled off. So what is the new walk-up song, Joe?
That's a good question. Her previous one was Ain't No Mountain High Enough. I don't know if that's the first lyric. I don't know if that's the title, but this was a much newer song.
I should know. The 0-1. Check swing. Did she go? She did. 0-2 on Woodard.
Coach Richardson was shocked that was called a swing.
Yeah, and it wasn't on appeal. Home plate umpire made the call himself. Here's the 0-2. It's in the dirt and got away from Cox for a moment, but actually didn't get away. It was right below her, so I'm not sure if she was trying to deke Byram to see if she would take off and then the ball was going to be right there at her feet, or if she really didn't know where it was. Byram didn't move. Here's the 1-2. Another pitch low in the dirt. Woodard held up, and we now have a 2-2 count. Rachel Roop on deck. We've got no score in the top of the third, Liberty and Oregon. The 2-2 from Grind, slapped foul over third base. We'll do it again.
That was Flanner who made the attempt. She was the one that got hit in the shin by a foul ball while she was in the hole in the second inning.
Yeah, it doesn't look any worse for the wear at the moment. She did have to kind of head back for the clubhouse for a moment. Here's another pitch. Line drive back up the middle. That almost took out Grind. It gets the center field for a base hit. Flames have runners at first and second. No outs, and Rachel Roop coming to the plate. Hard contact by Savannah Woodard.
Right back where it came from. 67 miles an hour. Probably exit velocity was about the same.
We're going to have a conversation with Melissa Lombardi and home plate umpire Matt Dial. And do we have a pitching change already? Is that what we're talking about? I can't imagine what else it would be at this point unless there's a challenge.
Looks like it might be a pitching change.
Indeed. So we've got our first Haley's Appliance and Outdoor call to the bullpen. The Flames with runners at first and second. No outs. We've got no score in the top of the third. We'll be back with the numbers on the new pitcher right after this here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Stay informed and entertained with the Liberty Flames podcast, presented by Sentry Exteriors. Get the latest news and hear from the players and coaches from your favorite Flames teams.
First of all, it's a privilege just to have a chance to be in the NCAA tournament.
I expect us to play our best football going forward. I really believe that.
Catch the latest coaches shows, the NASCAR podcast, double coverage, the Liberty Flames Clubhouse Report, and more. It's all on the Liberty Flames podcast channel. Listen on the Liberty Flames mobile app or wherever you get your podcasts. You're listening to Liberty Softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Well, we got a new pitcher for Oregon. Elise Sokolski will replace Grine. And the numbers on Sokolski, who is really, along with Grine, the two workhorses for this team. 17-4 on the year, 1.96 ERA, 143 innings pitched, 133 strikeouts, 39 walks. She'll face off against Rachel Roop with runners at first and second. The first pitch is taken for a ball. Roop, the righty, stands in and awaits the pitch. It's high and tight. 2 balls and no strikes. It is not an intentional walk, and I don't even think it's a pitching around situation here. It's just that she hasn't been able to find the zone yet. Sokolski winds and fires it in for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one to Roop. Big swing, but came up empty.
Sokolski had transferred from UConn. But this is her 3rd season at Oregon.
2-2 pitch to Roop. Low and outside. Runs full. Byram is at second. Woodard's at first. Rachel Roop at the plate. Nobody out. Tie game 0-0 in the 3rd. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Fair ball on 3rd. She gets the runner there on the force. Throws over to get the double play. What a tough situation for Rachel Roop. She hit it hard. If the 3rd baseman Flannery wasn't basically standing on the bag, that's a 2-run scoring double. Instead, it's a double play.
That's the top 10. They're top 10 in fielding percentage, scoring, and ERA is Oregon.
Showing it off there. Now Flames still have a runner in scoring position, but 2 outs. The first pitch to McManus is taken for a ball. And the 1-0, right in the same spot, but just foul. Almost identical spot from where Roop hit the ball a moment ago. Difference was Flannery was protecting the line a little bit more. She actually, as she dove to get the ball, landed on the 3rd base bag to get that force up quickly with a strong arm. Able to finish off the double play. A 1-1 pitch to McManus. Line outside, ball 2.
Watching that in real time, that double play, it looked like it was almost foul. I was surprised there wasn't a challenge there.
Well, the Flames are in a tough spot. They've already used one challenge. They'd have to be really sure to use another, and that is a hard call to overturn as well. 2-1, foul back, 2 balls and 2 strikes. rarely is there a camera right down the line, and there is not one here.
No.
So that's one that coaches probably have learned over the years, that unless you're just absolutely positive, you probably shouldn't challenge it. The 2-2 to McManus. Hit hard, but foul down towards the Flames bullpen. It scatters everyone. And we'll try again. We've seen a couple of hard hit balls in this inning, but unfortunately for the Flames, one right to third base, and this right to the bullpen. Woodard still at second. 2-2 pitch. Back down to third, and foul past Coach Dot Richardson, Pinto. She just lifted a foot to make sure it didn't get hit and watch the ball fly by.
I restrained myself from yelling for the guys in the bullpen to look at.
Good section of Flames fans right in that area too. Here's the pitch, ground ball to third, in fair territory, picked up by Flannery, throws over, and she gets the final out. So the Flames threaten, but not able to get anything out of it after the double play and the second ground out as well, the third. We have no score heading to the bottom of the third inning here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns. Our products are moving, and our trucks are rolling. We share a passion and a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Looking to buy a home or refinance a mortgage? Now is the time to take advantage of your one-of-a-kind offer from Alcova Mortgage. As an employee or alumni with Liberty University, you are eligible to receive a lender credit that equates to 1% of your total loan amount, up to $5,000. This offer provides you with some much-needed savings while also helping you tackle your closing costs. Visit alcova.com/liberty today for details. Offer does not apply to broker loans.
Alcova Mortgage, NMLS ID 40508, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Liberty Softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
No score as we go to the bottom of the third inning, Liberty and Oregon. What has been an eventful first 2.5 innings. We'll tell you about that here in just a second. But I do want to say we can't get to many of these at this moment. There's a lot of folks that are listening in and watching the booth cam on either YouTube or Facebook. And the last two entries are Montana. Listening in is Stacy, and Matt is in Tasmania in Australia. So how about that? Some folks checking in from all over the planet. The Oregon crowd coming to life.
The fans in the bob in the center field bleachers are saying go, and the fans in the chairbacks behind home plate are saying Ducks.
The Oregon Duck is out in the bleachers, or in front of the bleachers,
completely
leading
packed,
it on.
Completely packed bleachers as well.
Yeah, there is not a seat to be had in this ballpark. It is standing room only. Lena Escobar in the circle for Liberty, facing off against Katie Flannery. Flannery, who was in the on-deck circle eventually in the last half inning after being hit by a foul ball when she was in the hole, standing in the doorway.
Another defensive star leading off an inning.
Absolutely, yeah. Two great plays at third base to squelch a Liberty rally. Now ahead in the count, 2-0 and takes a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Her double play with runners on first and second and nobody out was huge. Probably 3 stars, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so. Diving play right at third base. Takes a strike off speed, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on and nobody out. No score in the bottom of the third. Liberty and Oregon here in the Super Regionals. Popped up out into center field. Easy play for KK. Madry squeezes it for the first out. Right fielder Ayanna Shaw, 421 on the season, doesn't have any homers. Squares the bunt and pulls back. Bottom of the lineup. Shaw squares again and bunts it foul. Count evens at 1-1.
Yeah, these 3 batters, 9-1-2, all have a lot of speed. Bunt, slap, but Kedre Lushar batting second has 7 home runs, 59 RBIs, and 27 stolen bases.
Escobar fires it in, slapped foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 1 out and nobody on. Oregon thought they had scored in the first inning. But review changed that. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Byram and it eats her up. Pops off of her mitt out into left field. We'll see how that's scored. Either way, a 1-out runner and a speedy one at first base for Oregon.
Official score said error, E6. It's kind of in between hop, but right at her.
Yeah, hard hit, but you're right at her, which the fact that it was hard hit would have meant certainly could have been a play at first base. The first pitch to Kai Lushar is taken for a strike. She's had an infield single her first time up and then was involved in a wild play. The 0-1 lined out into right center field. Is going to get all the way to the wall. Madry tracks it down. 1 runs in. Lushar slides into third with a triple.
That was a power slap there. Split the gap with the center fielder and right fielder in. They had to race. KK and Roop had to race to the wall. That's 3 bases and 1 run.
Unearned run for the Oregon Ducks. They lead 1-0. Mentioned that they thought they had a 1-0 lead back in the first after Lushar got around to third. It was a sacrifice bunt. She scored, but after review, it was determined that she had left early. First pitch to her sister, Kedre Lushar, is fouled over towards the dugout, and was it caught? It was! Jemiah Byram makes the catch right up against the net. Oregon thinks that it hit the net, but the umpire at third base signaled out. The home plate umpire is going to conference with Melissa Lombardi, the head coach of Oregon, and I think he's probably saying, that's not what I was looking at in that spot. The third base umpire certainly had the best view. He was right over in the neighborhood. Byram made the catch, but the Ducks bullpen certainly thought that it had hit the netting. Joe, you're looking at a replay. What do you think?
The third base umpire was right on top of that. When we see the replay,
and nothing is going to change out of this. Out is the call.
The third base umpire was 5 feet behind that play, 5 to 10 feet. and was right on top of that call. So
it's hard to tell for sure.
Right.
There's certainly no way that could be overturned, and I don't think any other umpire on the field would have had a better view of it. That's a one-star play by Jemiah Byram because she had to get to the ball to start with, but then had to make the catch into the netting as well. If it hit the net, it hit it high. It didn't hit it near the glove. It might have skittered off of it high up and then went into her mitt, but certainly nothing that we saw on a replay that would have overturned it. 2 outs now, and the first pitch to Stephanie Maakay is taken for a ball.
And we also didn't see the ball move as a result of the netting.
Ooh. Hit hard, but foul over the top of the team room and batting cage facility here down the third base line for Oregon. One and one. Here's the pitch from Escobar. Line drive, left field, base hit. 2 runs now have scored for the Ducks. They lead on the RBI single from Maakay.
That was a big celebration when she saw that ball by Maakay. She put the arm up in celebration like it was almost like a walk-off hit.
There's a lot of emotion in this game. Crowd certainly feeding that. First pitch to Sinicki is taken for a ball. And with the error to lead off this rally, Joe, does that mean that all of these runs are going to be unearned? The 1-0?
Yep.
Taken for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes because the inning would be over at this point
if
not for that error.
And the batter that got on the error, that's right. Yep.
2-0, off speed, a strike.
Sinicki thought she had a homer in her first time up, but Dorr robbed it over the wall and left. Saved 2 runs there.
2-1 from Escobar is high. 3 balls and 1 strike. Maakay has already been pinch run for once in this game, so she's running for herself at first. 3-1 is low, ball 4. Second walk of the game for Elena.
Paige Bachman's in the bullpen, warming up.
Well, Flames Nation knows that these Lady Flames have gotten into some holes that they've been able to dig out of. They trailed Texas A&M 4-0 before they came back to win. Later in that regional, we're trailing 3-0 to Texas A&M and came back to win. So they're not going to be daunted by anything that's thrown at them, but they do want to get out of this without any more damage done. Des Patman, who grounded out on a nice play by Savannah Woodard in the second inning, steps in. First pitch to her is wicked little off speed for a strike. The 0-1 is just off the plate.
And the Lady Flames have 20 come from behind wins this season. That's the most of any team that's still in the tournament.
They're going to have to do it tonight. The 1-1. Called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Escobar out ahead of Patman. 304 hitter, 10 home runs. Mentioned that one that was the game-winning homer. Walk-off homer against Stanford. 1-2, ground ball to Byram. She gets the play over to first in time. So Liberty finishes off the inning, but not before 2 runs come in for the Ducks. started with an error. Shaw came around to score then on a triple by Kai Lushar and an RBI single from Stephanie Ma'ake. And Oregon leads 2-0 as we head to the fourth inning here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Foster has been fostering warm moments for 100 years. Headquartered in Brookneal, Virginia, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services since 1921. Stop by one of our 6 showroom locations across Central Virginia to view our wide range of products. From propane to fireplaces and grills to tank installs and tankless water heaters, Foster has it all. Download our app or visit fosterfuels.com for more info.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
You're listening to Liberty Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Time now to check the Carter Bank box score.
Well, we are 3 innings complete. Liberty no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Oregon 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Oregon thought they had scored a run in the first. It was brought back on a review for leaving early. They thought they had scored again in the first as Paige Sinicki hit the ball over the fence in left field. But Paige Dorr was able to go over the fence and grab it. Check out SportsCenter. I guess it'll have to be the late version of SportsCenter probably, unless they get it in action, like on the fly.
Well, they have received it via email.
Okay,
so
well, we'll see. Maybe they can sneak it into that midnight SportsCenter. We'll find out. It is a late game back east. 11:24, 8:24 local. So after Dorr was able to steal the home run, no runs came across for either team until the bottom half of the third, when Oregon scored 2. Flames have had a couple of good chances in this game to score themselves. Had runners at first and third in the first inning, but a double steal went awry. The runner coming home from third was tagged out. Alyssa Hinault will step up for Liberty to begin this fourth inning. Flames trailing by 2. She hits it hard, but right to the first baseman, Mackay, who makes the catch. Another hard hit ball, but right at somebody. We've seen that in this game already. Double play by Rachel Root on a hard hit ball that would have likely plated 2 runners if it got past third base down into the corner, but it was caught on a bounce by Katie Flannery. She fell on the bag as she dove for the ball, got up and threw Roop out for the double play. So this could certainly be a different situation as KK Madry takes a strike, falls behind 0-1. A couple things go differently for Liberty. They could be up 3-2 in this ball game. Of course, Oregon could also say if a couple things went differently, they could be up 4-0. Or 5-0, I guess it would have been, as this is taken for a ball, 1-1.
We've seen so many ebbs and flows this postseason all across the country, but certainly the Lady Flames games.
Madry's awaiting the 1-1 pitch. Squares the bunt, fouls it back. Elise Sokolski is in the circle now for Oregon. She came in during that last inning. After the single by Woodard right before the double play. 1-2, taken for a ball. Now the 2-2 to KK Madry. Hit foul and out of play. Nobody on, one out. Liberty trailing 2-0 in the top of the fourth. Two, hit hard, back up the middle, base hit. KK stands at first with one out. And a couple times in this game that the Flames have been able to hit it hard back up the middle. Savannah Woodard did the same thing. Paige Dorr, who herself was robbed in the second inning on a diving catch in center field by Kedri Lushar. Dora hard luck 0 for 1. Hits it hard back that same spot, but it's going to fall down and get to the gap. Lushar gets it, and there's going to be a play at the plate. No, it's cut off, and Madry scores. The Flames get an RBI, and I'm not sure that should have been cut off by the first baseman, Mahake. It looked like there was at least going to be a play at home. Paige Dorr with a double, and Liberty is now down by 1.
Yeah, it was a little bit farther to the left of center than her initial hit, but got to the wall. Could have been a play at the plate, but like you said, cut off.
Rachel Crane swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. She's having a little bit of a shoulder problem in her last at bat.
KK has reached base in 22 straight games.
She's fun to watch. The 0-1, high, 2 balls and 1 strike, and I think maybe the scouting report on KK and how much speed she has is why that was cut off, because you just don't assume that you're going to have a play on her with how she gets around the bases, but I think it would have been kind of close if the throw would have went through. The 1-1 is in the dirt. Dorr thought about going down to third, but a good job by Cox to stay in front of it.
That's 13 RBIs in May for Dorr, including 7 in the NCAA tournament.
Outstanding. Pitch to Crane. Called a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Dorr had RBIs in 7 straight games to open the postseason. Didn't have any on Sunday night, but big one here.
Low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the Flames with a runner at second, 1 run in, trailing 2-1 in the top of the fourth. Sokolsky in the circle. Here's the pitch to Crane, fouled off. And Dot Richardson got her foot to it, but couldn't stop it. We'll try again. Flames the tying run at second base. Indecision in the circle, but there's still time on the clock. Now they're going to have to call time. I'm not sure if the pitch comm wasn't working or if it just wasn't what Sokolsky wanted. So she'll get a reset and now steps back. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Hit hard but foul. Down the third base line. Crane's got it just about timed up. She's just a millisecond out in front of these last 2. Crowd a bit restless as another 3-2 is on the way. Ball 4. Crane walks for the second time. And the Flames now have runners at first and second for Savannah Jessie. Yeah, Joe, that hit by Paige Dorr was pretty much the same trajectory as her out in the second inning on the diving catch by Luchar, but it just probably had about 10 feet less on it.
That's right.
Still hit hard, but just didn't have, it had about 10 foot more of air, 10 feet more air under it. That is terrible grammar, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit more lofted in the second inning and allowed Luchar to make an unbelievable catch that could also be on SportsCenter. In all honesty, there could be 2 plays in this game that make top 10. As we have a meeting in the circle for Oregon. In this occasion, though, Dorr was able to get it to the ground, and it squirted all the way to the wall. KK Madry was at first. She was sent home, and it lined up like it was going to be a close play at the plate, but the throw was cut off by the first baseman, Stephanie Maakay, and Liberty got on the board. Now they have runners at first and second for Savannah Jesse with 1 out. Oregon 2, Liberty 1. Here's the pitch. High and almost got back to the screen. Cox has really had to work hard behind the plate, and not usually the way you would expect. Balls in the dirt that you're having to try to keep in front of you. These rise balls have been coming up over her head that she's had to snatch. The 1-0 to Jesse. Hit about 4 feet right in front of the plate. They throw Jesse out at first. The runners do advance, so it's a swinging sacrifice. Liberty will have runners at second and third, but there are 2 outs.
That was hit off the end of the bat, kind of a squib nubber. Got about 18 feet from home plate. Sokolsky made the play. 2-hand catch by the first baseman.
Now it's going to take a 2-out hit for Jemiah Byram. Byram, the number 9 hitter, takes the first pitch for a strike. She drew a walk her first time up. Was a part of that double play in the 3rd inning. Jemiah hitting 189 on the year. Here's the pitch. Down to 3rd and picked off by Flannery. She throws to first for the final out of the inning. She has been very active at 3rd base. That was probably not hit quite as hard as the one Root did, but still, she had to make a clean pickup, finish it off at first. Flames do get 1 run across, but they leave a couple stranded as we head now to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Oregon 2, Liberty 1. Here from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames Sports Network.
Your business deserves a bank that values relationships and prioritizes customer service. Since 1979, First Bank and Trust Company has been delivering on these very commitments. Our bankers have been accessible, consultative, and provide a degree of understanding developed through years of commercial experience. First Bank and Trust has the expertise and capital to fund small and large projects up to $32 million. More information on First Bank and Trust and its services is available at firstbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Score big at Haley's Appliance and Haley's Outdoor in Lynchburg with major brands of appliances that will make your house feel like a home and outdoor equipment to have your yard looking its best. Haley's puts customer service first. They deliver and service all of the products they sell and will take care of the process from start to finish. Log on to Haley's.com today for product availability. Haley's Appliance and Haley's Outdoor in Lynchburg is a proud sponsor for Liberty Flames Athletics.
Follow the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner on social media and keep up with all your favorite teams. Search LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Now back to more Lady Flame softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
It's a beautiful night in Eugene, Oregon. We got a pretty good softball game on our hands. Flames trailing 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Elena Escobar still pitching for Liberty. Elise Sokolsky has checked into the game for Oregon. Grind came out after pitching 2 innings. Now for Oregon, they'll have Cox, Jones, and Flannery to the plate. Emma Cox, she walked and was a part of a double play herself in the second inning. Cox, the right-handed hitter, adding .333 on the year with 7 home runs, 31 RBIs. Goes inside out on this first pitch to right field. Roops under it though, and catches it just shy of the warning track. No real wind. Ever so slightly rustling flag out in right field, but not enough to really help or hurt anything.
Right. You heard some anticipation from the crowd that might get over the fence, but Roop caught it on the track.
6 feet short. First pitch to Jones is swung on and missed. Jones was the line out in that double play back in the second inning. Lined out to short. Slaps this into left field for a base hit. That's what she was trying to do her first time up, but slapped it to Byram. And this spot, she gets a single. And Oregon with a runner on and 1 out for Katie Flannery. Flannery flied out to center field in the third inning. Flannery 282 on the season. Pops this first pitch foul to the screen.
Double barrel action in the Liberty bullpen with Yoder and Bachman.
Saw both participate in the regional at Texas A&M. Yoder at the very end of the regional against Texas A&M. The 0-1, high and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jones down at first, has 16 stolen bases, has been caught once on the season. Yoder had not pitched until the 6th inning of the if necessary game and came in and got the save. Popped up on the infield. Woodard makes the catch. Jones had to scramble back to first. She was already about 2/3 of the way down to second. That ball was skied in the air. I'm not sure if she thought it was hit a lot harder or what, but she got back because it was high enough in the air.
Yeah, that was either a hit and run or a steal. So she was pretty far out, but it hung up enough that she was able to get back.
First pitch to Shaw is taken for a ball. Joe with the sensible explanation of what happened there. I'm going to say hit and run.
Yep.
1-0 ground ball to Byram at short, over to first, in time for the out. And after a single by Jones, she is stranded there. A couple of ground outs to finish off the inning. And the score holds at 2-1 with 4 complete. Here in Eugene, Oregon, Liberty and Oregon trying to fight their way to the College World Series. For the Flames, it would be the first time ever. For Oregon, it would be the first time since 2018. We're back with Liberty's half after this here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Move those coffee chains, Flames fans, and go local. Central Virginia's own Ironclad Coffee Roasters and Baking Company is the premier coffee partner of Liberty Athletics. Pay them a visit at one of their cafes in the Richmond area or at the Richmond International Airport. They'll also ship their specialty grade coffee straight to your door. Visit ironcladcoffee.com, that's www.ironcladcoffee.com, to check out the coffee Flames fans are talking about.
Curious about the housing market in Central Virginia? The caring, competent, trusted advisors at Carl Miller Realty have over 100 years of combined experience. We are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk with our winning team. That's carlmillerrealty.com.
You're listening to Liberty Softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
2-1 Oregon on top of Liberty. And what has been an exciting, eventful game already, even with just a 2-1 scoreline. But the Flames have certainly known drama over the course of this postseason. In the Conference USA tournament, it took an extra inning game, a 2-1 victory against La Tech on a walk-off from Paige Dorr to make it to the championship game. The championship game was a lot easier affair against Jack State, but still, Liberty wouldn't have got there if not for the drama the night before.
Both teams have 1, 2, 3 due up this inning.
And then Liberty at Texas A&M, I mean, it was just drama throughout the course of that weekend. Flames win against Marist was not a lot of drama in that game, but still some 2-out hits, some good things that happened, but they got a fairly easy win there. Nothing easy about those games with the Aggies. Liberty trailed 4-0. A couple of times. Came back and won the first game to win. In the second game, they came back to force extra innings, but lost in extras. Then was down 3-0 in the if necessary and won 6-5. Oregon had to come back themselves. As the first pitch to Savannah Woodard is a ground ball right back to the pitcher, and the throw over to first from second base is not in time. It trickled out to Jones. Jones not able to get Woodard. Now the question goes to whether Sokolsky is okay. Sokolsky, I should say. And she's waving off anybody as far as trainers are concerned. The next question would be, it was a bang-bang play at first, but doesn't look like Oregon's going to challenge. So Liberty has a runner at first, and Rachel Roop now at the plate. Sokolsky throws it off of the mitt of Cox. It gets back to the netting, and Woodard is able to advance to second, and that does open up first base, so we'll see if Oregon is delicate with Roop in the box and first base open. Sokolsky is going to just intentionally walk Roop. So not just careful, but they're going to intentionally walk her. We talked to Bryn McManus. As a matter of fact, she was one of the guests on this week's Liberty Flames softball show, which you can find on your favorite podcast channel under Liberty Flames Podcast or on YouTube on the Liberty Flames Sports Network page. Oh, the wild pitch now on ball 4 of the intentional walk. Advances Woodard to third. I'm not sure what that's going to go down as. It went off of the glove of Cox, but it was even further out of the zone than it needed to be for the intentional walk. So what a strange situation. They try to put Roop on first. Of course, that wouldn't happen in the major leagues now because you can just say go to first. But you have to actually throw the 4 pitches to walk somebody in college. The 4th one got past Cox to the screen. And not sure if that was ruled, Joe, as a wild pitch or a pass ball, but either way, the Flames have runners at first and third and no outs. So a sac fly would tie the game up. First pitch to McManus is in and out of the glove of Cox again, but it falls right on top of home plate. She picks it up and everybody stays put. It is a ball, though. 1-0.
That was the 3rd official intentional walk of Roop this year.
Sokolsky fires it in. It's called for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, no outs. Liberty with runners at first and third, trailing by 1 in the 5th. Big spot in this ball game. Sokolsky puts this in, and it's fouled back off of the facade down into the crowd. Hopefully everybody's okay. When that happens, it comes down hard.
So Woodard's advancement to second was a wild pitch, to third was a pass ball officially.
So Woodard has made her way around the bases and is now at third with no outs. But a 1-2 count which is in the dirt, and Cox does a good job just to stay in front of it. Keeps the runners where they are. Here's the 2-2, bounces up. Cox again has to use her chest protector. 3-2. Sokolski having trouble finding the zone, high and low. Runners at first and third. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. McManus was wanting a walk, but outside corner, and now it's going to take Alyssa Henault to try to get the runner in from third. Still only one out. That is the first strikeout of the game for either team.
Just tick the outside corner.
Henault, the lefty, digs in. The first pitch to her is in the dirt. We've seen wild pitches and pass balls that go along the ground, and we've seen some that are over the top of everybody in this game. The 1-0. Out into left field. Is it far enough? Coming in to make the play is Luchar. Luchar has her throw cut off. Woodard stayed put at second, but advancing, at third, I should say. But Roop does advance to second, and they may appeal as to whether or not Roop left early. That is on the table here. We'll see.
That was interesting. It didn't look like there was any chance that Woodard was going to go, but she deked just enough to draw the throw to that direction.
So there's runners at second and third, but now 2 outs for KK Madry. No appeal to first. First pitch to KK is off the plate. 1-0. The Flames aren't able to get something out of this. I know they're going to be very disappointed. They were in a good spot to at least tie this ball game up with a runner at third and 1 out. Now it's going to take a 2-out hit, but we've seen a lot of that lately. Here's the pitch to KK. She swings and misses.
Out in front.
54 miles an hour on the gun.
You wonder if she's going to try to bunt and put one in play here.
First base is open, so there's no force at home. She swings, though, and misses. 1-2 with 2 outs.
Crowd comes to their feet.
Roop's at second, Woodard's at third. Sokolski fires it in. Popped foul and out of play.
That one sped up to 63. That was about the bat speed of KK on those first 2 pitches that she swung through that were in the 50s.
Liberty trailing 2-1. Here's the 1-2, high and outside, ball 2. Tried to get her to chase out of the zone. She did not. Another off-speed pitch, 56. Two runners in scoring position. Here's the 2-2, popped up. But it's getting back towards the track, and it's actually a tough catch made by Kai Luchar. That just kept carrying. But Luchar catches it a couple of paces short of the wall. And a loud inning comes up empty for the Flames. They had multiple chances to try to tie this ball game up, and they still trail 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. But I know one thing that is absolutely for certain is these fans here in Oregon, as excited as they are, and they are excited, and they get into the games quite a bit. Great home field advantage, but I think they realize that this Liberty Flames team is legit and that they're not going to go away. The Ducks are in for a battle. We'll take a break. It is the 5th inning stretch brought to you by Carl Miller Realty here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Owned and operated by a Liberty alum, Larry's Tire and Auto Repair offers complete auto service, including tires, preventive maintenance, and more. Larry's Tire carries all major brands and is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Larry's Tire has 2 locations in Lynchburg and at Able Tire in Concord. And coming soon, Larry's Tire will expand to a new service center in Forest. More information on Larry's Tire is available at larrystireservice.com.
Lynchburg Nissan has been serving the community for 28 years and is now offering rates as low as 2.9% and savings as big as $6,000 off MSRP. Lynchburg Nissan, offering extraordinary service and where buying is made easy. Home of the million-mile warranty. Nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
You're listening to Liberty Softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Two-one, Oregon up. Bottom of the 5th ahead. 5th inning stretch presented by Carmany Realty. Don't stretch your budget when searching for your next home. Talk to the caring, competent, trusted advisors at Carmany Realty. Visit carmanyrealty.com. Carl with a K. Joe, as we talked in the lead up to this game and we were looking at our Foster Fuels Who's Hot for Liberty, and I think any game at any point of this entire season or maybe the last 2 or 3 years, you could say Rachel Root.
Yep.
She seems to always be doing big things for the Lady Flames. But some other folks that have been involved, one of those is Paige Dorr. You mentioned how great she's played in the month of May, and then also showed off her defense earlier in this game with a 4-star catch. Kai Luchar takes the first pitch of this bottom of the 5th inning for a strike. Now slaps it and pops it into shallow left field. Byram goes back and makes a tough catch. That was not easy for Jemiah. She was in on the infield and had to get all the way back out to the grass to catch that looper. Now Kedria Luchar, Kai's sister and center fielder, to her left fielder, her being in left field, steps in. First pitch to her is taken for a strike. Kai had tripled and got an RBI and scored in the 3rd. Kedri has not scored in this ball game so far. She did draw a walk. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike in this spot.
Texas and Clemson are going to the 9th.
Wow.
5-5. Clemson had runners on 2nd, 3rd, 1 out, couldn't walk it off.
Ground ball back to Escobar. She stabs it and throws over for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 volatile players at the top of the order. The Flames were able to get out and keep them off of the base paths. Stephanie Maakay. She now comes to the plate. First pitch to her is taken for a ball. Maakay reached on a fielder's choice back in the 1st, singled, had an RBI in the 3rd, fouls this pitch off and is behind in the count. And now the 1-1 from Escobar. Sliced out into center field, but Madry's got it. Again, the crowd in anticipation was all half standing. Fairly hard hit, kind of on a slice. KK makes the play for the final out of the inning. Oregon goes down 1-2-3 in the 5th inning. We head now to the top of the 6th, Liberty trailing 2-1. Here in game 1 of this Super Regional on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Stay informed and entertained with the Liberty Flames podcast, presented by Sentry Exteriors. Get the latest news and hear from the players and coaches from your favorite Flames teams.
First of all, it's a privilege just to have a chance to be in the NCAA tournament.
I expect us to play our best football going forward. I really believe that.
Catch the latest coaches shows, the NASCAR podcast, double coverage, the Liberty Flames Clubhouse Report, and more. It's all on the Liberty Flames podcast channel. Listen on the Liberty Flames mobile app or wherever you get your podcasts. You're listening to Lady Flames Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Now for a look at the out-of-town scoreboard built by Frank Good Builders.
Our score in Eugene, it's 2-1 Oregon as we head to the 6th. And to take a look at some other scores we talked about, Clemson and Texas, they're in a battle. What else is going on, Joe Carmany?
So Texas Tech, they swept Florida State 3-0 last night, 2-1 today. They're first team into the World Series. South Carolina hosting UCLA, won this afternoon 9-2. Ole Miss upsets Arkansas in the first game, 9-7. Florida holds serve against Georgia, 6-1 at home. Clemson last night, 7-4 over Texas. Game 2 is in the top of the 9th, 5-5. Nebraska with a win at Tennessee this evening, 5-2. Oklahoma shuts out Alabama 3-0 in game 1. Again, visiting teams have been 5-3 so far in this Super Regional round. And for those wondering, Liberty's highest scoring inning this season is the 6th inning, 78 runs for, 24 against. That includes 5 runs, 6th innings in both wins against Texas A&M last week.
So they have been a team that has figured it out when they needed to, and now is when they need to. Fall off the stand again. We're on a little small riser here on our concourse location, and there's not a lot of space between the feet of my chair and the end of the riser. Just about pitched myself off a couple times in this game. Paige Dorr leads things off for Liberty, takes the first pitch for a ball. Dorr had an RBI double in the 4th. Bounces up.
For those watching online, I now have my outer jacket on. It's under 60 degrees.
That's the number. Dorr, ground ball back up the middle, and it squirts through into center field for a base hit. The Dorr continues to play well. Brings Rachel Crane up, who has walked twice in this ball game. Liberty down by 1, no outs and a runner now at first in the 6th. First pitch to Crane is a strike.
Crane with 5 sacrifice bunts on the season. Team leaders Dorr with 6.
Here's the 0-1, squares the bunt, bunts it out in front of the plate. Only play is the first, so Crane able to sacrifice. And Dorr stands at second as the tying run for Savannah Jesse.
Good execution all around on that play. Put it right out front. Been an active day for the third baseman.
Jesse
Flannery.
Yep, Jesse grounded back to the pitcher her last time up. First pitch to her is high and outside. So Dorr is a tying run. She's at second base.
Alexia Carrasquillo in the on-deck circle.
The 1-0 from Sokolski. Big swing, and it gets away from Cox. Dorr down to third now with one out. So the tying run is 60 feet away. Not sure if that's going to be a pass ball or a wild pitch, but we've seen quite a few runner advancements because of one or the other in this game so far. Timeout called. Issue with the pitches again. Here's the 1-1 to Jesse. Ground ball to short, and Dorr has to hold up. The throw over to first gets Jesse, and the Flames still have a runner at third now with 2 outs. Well, a couple spots in this game where Liberty has had the tying run at third with less than 2 outs and just have not been able to plate the runner. As you mentioned, Carrasquillo will check in to pinch hit for Byram. We're not sure of the availability of Savannah Watley, who was injured, had an arm injury over the weekend at Texas A&M. We did see her at practice, so she might be available to pinch hit in this game also.
Carrasquillo had an RBI hit off the bench in game 1 of the regional final at Texas A&M on Sunday. Smacked it off the wall.
Well, the Flames are about due for a 2-out hit. They've done it so well of late. Carrasquillo, the right-handed hitter, .333 on the season. Here's the first pitch to her. Called a strike. Dorr still at third, but now 2 outs. Liberty trailing by 1. The top of the 6th inning. Here's the 0-1 to Carrasquillo. High and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lushar in left field is shaded really close to the line. There's a big gap between there and center. The 1-1 bounces up, and Cox just keeps it in front of her. Flames will take a run any way they can get it. They've had several runners advance in this game because of either wild pitches or pass balls. 2 balls and 1 strike to Carrasquillo. Strike called, outside corner, 61 miles an hour on the gun. And that gets the Ducks fans on their feet again, as they're 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Carrasquillo. Inside out swing, fouls it off and out of play down the first base line. We'll do it again. Another 2-2 to Carrasquillo. Hard hit, but foul down the third base side on the ground. Alexia fighting her way through in this battle with Elise Sokolski. Sokolski came in relief back in the 3rd inning. Runner at third, 2 outs. Flames trailing by 1 in the 6th. Here's the pitch. Check swing, did she go? She did not. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Carrasquillo. Alexia gets on, Savannah Woodard would follow at the top of the order. Here's the pitch. Hard hit over the head of the third baseman. Flannery and the Flames tie this game up. Dorr scores. Alexia Carrasquillo with a huge 2-out RBI. That has been the Flames' MO all postseason. Now the Flames are thinking about taking a lead in this ball game as Byram will check back in for Carrasquillo to run it first. And Savannah Woodard at the plate with Rachel Roop in the on-deck circle if Woodard could extend the inning, and we may have a pitching change for Oregon. I believe we will. And my curiosity is if it's a new pitcher or if it's going to be a re-entry. I saw Grind start the game but have to come out after 2 innings pitched. We'll figure that out after this quick timeout for another Haley's Appliance and Outdoor call to the bullpen here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network. Liberty has tied this game up at 2 apiece in the 6th.
Flames Nation, this is Liberty softball head coach and proud Flames Club member, Dot Richardson. I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me in supporting Liberty Athletics' mission to train champions for Christ on and off the field. Your support directly impacts our student athletes and is a valuable part of our team. Membership starts at just $75 and comes with great benefits like access to premium seating, hospitality, and parking privileges. Join today. Visit libertyflamesclub.org.
You're listening to Liberty Softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
New pitcher for Oregon, Stacy Chambers, will come in for Sokolsky. The numbers on Chambers: she's 2-0 on the year, 4.25 ERA. This is her 15th appearance. 26 1/3 innings pitched, 39 strikeouts, 15 walks. A 2-out hit from Alexius Carrasquillo after Flames weren't able to get the runner in with less than 2 outs from third. It took a 2-out hit, and Carrasquillo did just that. Now the Flames have a runner at first, Jemiah Byram, who checked back in after being pinch hit for. And that is the go-ahead run here in the top of the 6th inning. Savannah Woodard will bat for the Flames.
Which I've now identified her new walk-up song, Hot to Go.
Shazam?
No, I overheard it.
Oh, okay.
And I looked it up.
Now that was my Gomer Pyle impersonation. Just kidding. I wonder if he gets, well, he's no longer with us, but I wonder if he got royalties. Savannah Woodard, first pitch to her is in the dirt. So it doesn't matter which pitcher's been in the circle for Oregon. They have found the clay, and it has kept Emma Cox very busy behind the dish. Now the 1-0 from Chambers. Ground ball towards second, scooped up by Jones, and she throws over for the final out of the inning, but not before the Flames tie this ball game up at 2 apiece. Heading to the bottom of the 6th inning, Alexia Carrasquillo, the hero this time. Paige Dorr, the tying run. Lena Escobar will come back out for the Flames. She'd love to be able to get through this cleanly and give her biggest bat, Rachel Roop, a chance to give the Flames the lead in the top half of the next inning, but a little work to be done before that. 2-2, Liberty and Oregon here in the first game of this Super Regional here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
The Liberty Flames thank Segra for their support. Segra collaborates with companies to offer business-only, carrier-grade connectivity, cybersecurity, voice and cloud solutions tailored to meet their diverse needs. Segra offers these solutions across a fiber network that spans 28 states in the U.S. and is headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. They can be reached at Segra.com or 833-GO-SEGRA. Segra, a proud partner of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Flames Nation, this is Liberty softball head coach and proud Flames Club member, Dot Richardson. I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me in supporting Liberty Athletics' mission to train champions for Christ on and off the field. Your support directly impacts our student athletes and is a valuable part of our team. Membership starts at just $75 and comes with great benefits like access to premium seating, hospitality, and parking privileges. Join today. Visit libertyflamesclub.org.
Get the latest on your favorite Flames team with the Liberty Flames podcast. Just search Liberty Flames wherever you get your podcasts or go to libertyflames.com. This is Lady Flames softball from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames Sports Network.
Well, if anybody had any questions left after the Texas A&M victories as to whether or not the Lady Flames belonged on this stage, I think those questions have been put to bed, as probably a lot of our listeners are thinking of at the moment, wanting to be put to bed. It's after midnight back on the East Coast.
Saturday there, Friday here.
At 12:13 in Lynchburg. We got folks listening from all over the place. So some people, Australia, let's see, they would be the opposite direction. Is Elena Escobar. First pitch is bunted by Zanicki, and a great play by Savannah Woodard by Savannah Jessie. She pops out from behind the plate and guns her down at first. That is a big out.
Savannah to Savannah. Woodard covering first.
Yeah, Woodard, I got my Savannahs flip-flopped.
It was a great play both ways because she was on the sprint with Savannah Woodard.
Now Des Patman, who swings and misses a big cut. I shouldn't say misses, fouls it back to the screen. Patman behind, 0-1. Escobar off speed, fouled off and ahead, 0-2. Escobar has not given up an earned run in this game. The two runs that were scored were after an error. 5 1/3 innings pitched for Elena. 4 hits, 2 unearned runs. No strikeouts, 3 walks. She's thrown 77 pitches. The 0-2, tried to get her to chase. She did not. 1-0. Des Patman was the hero against Stanford. Had the walk-off homer on Sunday that sent this crowd into a frenzy. The 1-2, ground ball to Woodard. Woodard makes the play and throws over to McManus for the second out. Emma Cox, who is hopefully going to get a nice meal paid for by her pitching staff. Nice gift bag. She has been beaten to death behind the plate in this game. So many pitches in the dirt are high that she's had to go up and down for. 1 pass ball, but the rest were all wild. Takes a ball. Scoreboard is off. I think it's 2-0. Yeah, 2-0 is the count. Scoreboard was showing 2-2 there for a moment. Nobody on, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Off speed. Did she go? Checked her swing. They're going to look down. They say no. 3-0. The count to Cox. Kaylin Jones would follow. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. 4th walk for Escobar. It is with 2 outs, though. Still a chance to get out of this.
Ties her season high of 4 walks. See the scorebook lady running down again.
See if we can identify who's in charge of the scorebook. I'm going to say that's probably Alyssa Palomino Cardoza, one of the assistant coaches. Although it could be Carly Charles. They look very similar. One just maybe a little more tan than the other. Joe, I'm not sure. Usually the TV chart photo roster is able to help us figure it out when we don't know. But in that case, you have two very identical looking support staff members. It's Kaylin Jones. Awaits the first pitch, slaps it, and Byron, nice play at short. Tracks back to the grass and catches it over her head for the final out of the inning. She has played well defensively after the error. Has bounced back strong. And with that catch, I don't know, we might have to put a star on that one, Joe. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That saved a base hit. And it gets the Flames out of this sixth inning with nothing across. So the walk does not harm the Flames, and we head to the seventh, tied at 2 here in this first game of the Eugene Super Regional. The Duck fans singing along to shout. Pretty cool tradition. Even some of the Flames are getting in on it down in the bullpen. Take a break and tell you how we got to this point. Coming up here in just a moment on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
You're listening to Liberty Softball on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Time now to check the Carter Bank box score.
When you take a look at the line in the game so far, Liberty 2 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, but 8 left on base. Oregon 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 5 left on base. Flames have been in a couple of spots where they were close to having a big inning. Maybe got 1 run out of it, but not able to open things up. Wow, this crowd is spectacular. They've even got the ad-libs in the song.
If you're watching, you're seeing we're seeing us move a little bit to this song.
Nobody's watching, Joe. I mean, they are, but they're just listening.
Yeah.
They don't want to see us dance.
Especially not me. little shoulder movement there.
Flames have Rachel Roop leading off this 7th inning. She was intentionally walked her last time up. In the process, there was a wild pitch, which led to runners at first and third. But Liberty wasn't able to get anything out of it. First pitch to Roop in this spot is taken for a ball. That's the inning that you would go back and look at and say, boy, Flames really should have been able to put a run across, but you score a run here, get 3 outs, you're not going to worry about that. The 1-0 to Roop. Outside for a strike. Stacy Chambers is in the circle for Oregon. She came in the last half inning, got the final out. Now 1-1 to Roop. Big swing, but came up empty. 1-2. Nobody on, nobody out. A tie game at 2 in the 7th. Now a 1-2 pitch. The Flames' biggest slugger, Rachel Roop. It's on the way. Strike 3 called. A rare strikeout looking for Rachel Roop. 1 out for Liberty in the 7th.
We saw McManus strike out looking at her last at-bat on that outside pitch. And that was a 3-2 pitch, was McManus' strikeout looking.
Now McManus with the bases empty. Our first time looking at Chambers, takes a strike. Here's the 0-1. High and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alyssa Hinault in the on-deck circle. Two-two ball game in the 7th. The 1-1. Strike call. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chambers has looked good coming in relief. She didn't really have a great stat line coming in, a 4.25 ERA. First 3 hitters she faced, she's gotten out ahead in each one. The 1-2 outside, ball 2.
Yep.
Crowd didn't like it, but it was a good call.
I don't know if it's because we're this close to the crowd, but this seems every bit as loud as when we were at A&M.
Yeah, we're right on top of the crowd on the concourse, so different vantage point, but yeah, it is a great home field advantage. The 2-2, ground ball to second. It's going to be played, though, easily by Jones. She throws over to get the second out.
One thing I did notice is I don't know that they dragged the infield. Usually that happens in the 4th inning. This field looks pretty chewed up right now.
Yeah, I think you're right, Joe. I don't remember seeing that either.
So you don't know if that comes into play sometimes. Takes a side kick off a cleat mark.
Alyssa Hinault, Flames designated player, 0 for 2 on the day, 311 on the season. First pitch to her, a big swing, but underneath it, 67 miles an hour on the gun for Chambers.
We've seen her almost every mile an hour from about 57 to 67.
He mixes it up. The 0-1. Strike call. 0-2.
Again, 60. I think we've seen a 62, 63, 64, 67, 57.
Crowd on their feet again. 2 outs and nobody on. Flames and Ducks tied at 2 in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. High and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Capacity crowd here at Jane Sanders Stadium. This facility built back in 2016, holds 2,500, and there's more than that here. Overflowing. The 1-2 fouled off. Hinault stays alive.
She was geared up for a little faster pitch that came in at 60, and she just spoiled it.
8, 9, and then the top of the order up next for Oregon when they come to bat in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-2, high, ball 2.
There's a rise ball at 67, high and out.
Beautiful night here in Eugene, Oregon. What a great game we've had so far. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off, spoiled again. A lot of 2s on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The score is 2-2. And Alyssa Hinault is number 2. Crowd gets fired up again. Here's the pitch. Low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Alyssa has worked herself back into this count. Nobody on, 2 outs, and now a 3-2 pitch from Chambers. She fires to Hinault, who hits it out into left field, but it's going to hang up. And the catch made by Luchar to end the inning. The Flames go down 1-2-3. Oregon with a chance to win the ball game as the home team in the 7th inning. We're all nodded at 2 here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Stay informed and entertained with the Liberty Flames podcast, presented by Sentry Exteriors. Get the latest news and hear from the players and coaches from your favorite Flames teams.
First of all, it's a privilege just to have a chance to be in the NCAA tournament.
I expect us to play our best football going forward. I really believe that.
Catch the latest coaches shows, the NASCAR podcast, double coverage, the Liberty Flames Clubhouse Report, and more. It's all on the Liberty Flames podcast channel. Listen on the Liberty Flames mobile app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Alan York, asking you to join the team as a member of the Flames Club. As a Flames Club member, you can make a difference by directly contributing to the success of Liberty Athletics. The Flames Club's mission is to raise the financial support needed to provide our coaches and student athletes with the resources to compete for championships. Membership levels vary and begin at just $75. Some gifts may even be tax deductible. When you join the Flames Club, you're truly investing in champions and championships. Join today at libertyflamesclub.org.
Follow the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner on social media and keep up with all your favorite teams. Search LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You're listening to Liberty Softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
We are tied at 2. Going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Elena Escobar has pitched well for the Flames. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, neither of those earned. Doesn't have a strikeout, 4 walks, but she's been able to be pretty efficient. 86 pitches. It's a cool night. A lot easier conditions than what the Flames saw in College Station when they upset Texas A&M. But I'm going to say the crowd advantage goes to Oregon. Not only do they get excited on big plays, but they have a sing-along going on throughout the whole evening. Every song they know the words to, and they've been on their feet a lot. Flames going to try to extend this game. They need 3 outs to do that. First pitch from Escobar is a line drive down to short. Byram up with it cleanly over to first to get the out, and Flannery is one down. Katie Flannery, the number 8 hitter, now followed by Ayanna Shaw, and then back to the top of the order with Kai Luchar, and if she were to get on, Kedre Luchar. First pitch to Shaw, she squares the bunt, bunts it foul. She reached on an error and scored back in the 3rd inning. That's where the 2 runs came in for Oregon. They had 1 run that came in the first, but was called back after a review, deemed that the runner left early. The 0-1 slapped foul. So Shaw 0 for 2 today. Both times grounding down to short. The 0-2 from Escobar. Ground ball back to Woodard at second. Quick throw over to McManus for 2 outs. And the Flames had her shaded towards the middle, so Woodard was in a good spot. A lot of times that would have been a base hit. Hit in that area. Now to the top of the order, but with 2 outs, Kai Luchar. She was the runner that left early back in the first, and her run taken off the board. First pitch to her, she looks like she's going to slap at it and takes the ball. She did have an RBI triple and scored in the 3rd inning. Popped up to short in the 5th. After a quick conversation, we're ready to go again. 2 outs and nobody on for Oregon. Tied at 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Escobar gets the pitch and now fires it in. Ground ball but foul down the third base line. 1-1. Why not have a little drama to start off this Super Regional? Got to win 2. Tomorrow's game, 4 o'clock local, 7 o'clock Eastern. Sunday's game to be determined. The 1-1, slapped into left field for a base hit. Dorr makes a play on it cleanly to keep Lushar at first, but with her speed, you got to think that this might be the spot to try to steal and get in scoring position for her sister, Kedre Lushar.
Which Kai Lushar leads the nation with 58 stolen bases on 65 attempts. That was the first hit since the 4th inning for Oregon.
Flames are going to have a visit to the circle with 2 outs. And also a conversation in the outfield with head coach Dot Richardson Pinto. Casey Fagan Graham talking to the infielders. And this is probably about pitch location and the thought of a potential steal. There are 2 outs. The game-winning run is at first as the Luchar sisters at the top of the order for this Oregon squad. Kedre Lushar walked back in the first and is 0 for 2. First pitch to her is taken for a ball.
There's going to be a lot of eyes on that first base bag if she takes off.
Flames do have a challenge left, so they could take a look at it here in the 7th. The 1-0, runner goes, throw down is into, well, no, it didn't quite get into center field. The runner's safe. It deflected,
and
the Flames are going to challenge, I think, right away that the runner left early. So Luchar's at second base. The throw down was in the dirt. It got into Woodard, but just sort of bounced to the side. Not enough for Luchar to advance any further, but she's at second, and the count is 2-0 to her sister, and the Flames are going to challenge whether or not the runner left early. We saw this earlier, and it took a run off the board. Flames challenged the same player,
right.
Kai Luchar, left third early, and she did.
And
well, she didn't leave early, but she stepped off the base and then stepped back on the base while the pitch was in motion. So she didn't leave before the pitch left, but she had been off the bag and back on, so that was considered the same.
So if this is if this is an unsuccessful challenge, then obviously she gets the stolen base, but it was a good pitch to steal on because it was an off-speed pitch. So if she was legal, then it was a good play for them and a good decision to steal on that specific pitch. But if she left early, then this inning's over and we're going to extras.
So another big call in this game. If it stays as is, there's a runner at second. That's the only runner that matters at this point. Kedre Luchar with a 2-0 count is at the plate. Stephanie Maake is on deck. She had an RBI single in the third, reached on a fielder's choice in the first, lined out hard in the fifth. So I don't know that you necessarily want to walk in this spot.
She might have left. She might have done the same thing. That front toe might have been off. just a touch before the replant, the push off was
She's
clean,
fine.
is fine.
But she may have, in her motion to get going, come completely off of the base and then reattach to the base to push off.
Which is what she did at third base in the first inning.
And this crew in Pittsburgh have already made this call once, so they know what they're looking for. So her right foot is behind the bag. Her front foot is on the front of the bag. Did it come off and then push into it? We're going to find out. It's very, very close. We'll see if we can listen in.
After further review, the ruling on the field is now changed.
Twice in this ball game, Kai Luchar has stepped off the base. She may have to go back to the drawing board on her form when she's leaving a bag, because it's not that she's leaving early, it's that she's stepping up off the base and then replanning while the pitcher's in motion. Two outstanding challenges in this game. One that took the run off the board back in the first inning, and this one ends the seventh and sends us to extras, tied at 2 here in Eugene on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate, or visit us at centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram.
Lynchburg Nissan is a proud sponsor of Liberty University Athletics. Stop by Lynchburg Nissan now to take advantage of $6,000 off MSRP on select new cars, or rates as low as 2.9%. Lynchburg Nissan, home of the million-mile warranty. Nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
As a Flames Club member, you get access to premium seating, parking, and hospitality on game day. Go to libertyflamesclub.org today to learn more. You're listening to Liberty Softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Well, we've got to revisit our Alcova Mortgage keys to the game. The keys to the game is using your challenges wisely, and the Flames have done that. They've gotten 2 outs in this ball game, catching Kai Luchar stepping off the base before she then took off either home back in the first or on a steal of second in the 7th. It would have been a runner at second and a 2-0 count to her sister that the Flames would have had to work out of, but because of the review, it wipes it out. And we go now to the 8th, tied up at 2 apiece. Again, not as high scoring a game as we saw in those matchups with Texas A&M, but it seems like still almost as many intricacies and dramas to be had, as we're now 20 minutes till 1 o'clock back on the East Coast. 9:40 Pacific time. Some late night softball. A lot of eyes on this ball game, those that are still awake. KK Madry will lead things off for Liberty. Flames and Ducks tied at 2. First pitch to KK, she squares to bunt and pulls it back. You wouldn't think about 2 schools that are a couple thousand miles away having as much history as these 2 do, but of late they have. The 1-0 to KK. She grounds it down the first base line. It's a fair ball picked up by Maike, and she steps on first for the out.
And we saw a similar play like that in regionals, and the Texas A&M first baseman picked it up and thought KK was just going to run into the out, and she ducked around and got the first. This first baseman ran back for the force out.
No reason to take a chance on. I saw that in Major League Baseball, a crazy play with the Cubs, similar spot, and a run scored. Paige Dorr takes the first pitch for a ball. She'd love to hit a home run on her return to Oregon. Grew up in Oregon, also played at Oregon State. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Now the 1-0 from Chambers. Checked her swing but went around.
Her mom was a catcher here at Oregon in the early 2000s. Paige told me that her mom's name's on the wall over here on their team building.
Now the 1-1 to Dorr. Strike call, 1-2, and the crowd fired up again. This may be one of the greatest home field advantages that we've seen. They are really into this game, and it's a sold-out, over-capacity stadium. The 1-2 to Dorr, swung on and just got a piece of it, and got a piece of the home plate umpire as well. Matt Dial. He's going to have to walk it off. I'm not sure where it caught him, but he says he's okay. Takes a walk out to the circle.
Dorr's been providing all the restaurant suggestions on this trip for the team. They're going to several of her favorite places, including they went to her parents' house.
That's probably her favorite place to eat.
Hawaiian food was served there, from what I'm told.
Now a 1-2 to Paige Dorr. Here's the pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stacy Chambers, who checked in the 6th inning, has pitched flawlessly since. 5 up, 5 down for Chambers in relief. Paige Dorr, the lefty, awaits the left-handed offering and hits it high and out of play. Foul ball over our head.
That might have hit me in the noggin if we didn't have this nice wooden roof overhead. Provided by the Sanders family of Jane Sanders Stadium fame.
Yeah, cool story behind this ballpark. Another 2-2 pitch to Paige Dorr. Base is empty and 1 out. Tie game in the 8th. Fouled off again. This down the 3rd baseline into the crowd. And all the money was donated by Bob Sanders. Not all the money, but almost all, like 16 of the 17 million to build the stadium was donated by him. And then when they realized that they didn't have enough seats, he built the outfield bleachers, and they named that after him. It's called the Bob. 2-2 pitch to Dorr. Popped foul again. Is it going to get into the crowd? It does. Skips off the top of the netting and lands in the first row.
We've seen a couple of those skip off the top of the netting or off the facade. I think we're 2 and 2. 2 off the facade, 2 off the top of the netting.
So the crowd,
Sorry.
Crowd comes back down, and now they'll amp it back up again. Another 2-2 pitch to Paige Dorr. It's on the way from Chambers. High and outside. Good eye. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Coach Richardson talks about how Dorr is kind of like Roop from the left side. She stalks away from the plate after each pitch like Roop does.
It is fun to watch. Gets back in time with the pitch clock running down. And now awaits the payoff from Chambers. Ground ball to first and played cleanly by Maike for the 2nd out. She's been tested on a couple of hard hit balls, but 2-3 unassisted in the 8th.
Yeah, and she got a line out off the bat of Henall earlier in the game, did Maike.
Rachel Crane going to have to do it with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-2 game in the 8th. First pitch to her is taken for a strike.
That was on the low end of the zone.
Crane has walked twice in the game, also sacrificed
a runner over back in the 6th. The 0-1 outside, ball 3.
Crane's actually been on base 6 times in the NCAA postseason, but no hits, all walks.
Flames would take a walk here, just get a runner on, but I'd love to find a gap as well. The 1-1 hit out towards left field, base hit. It doesn't find a gap, but it does find the turf, and Liberty has a runner at first with 2 outs. Savannah Jesse, who was one of the heroes in the Texas A&M games, final game, the if necessary game, hit a 2-run homer to tie that ball game up. If she could replicate that here, she'd give the Flames a 2-run lead. We see Aubrey Norris come in to pinch run for Crane. Norris, Coach Richardson has said, is as fast as anybody on this team. She'd put her up against KK Madry and it'd be a close race. So if Liberty does find a gap, you like her chances coming in from first. That was the first hit given up by Chambers since she came in the 6th inning. The first pitch to Jesse. Low. Ball 1. 66 on the gun.
Coming back to Norris, her younger sister Emily is going to be coming to Liberty as a track athlete this fall.
And we may have a change of some sort at this point. Mid-batter. That's the only thing I can think of. The conversation is one of the assistant coaches talking with home plate umpire. Let's see.
It's either that or a lineup check.
Now the home plate umpire does come over to talk to Melissa Lombardi. Coach Dot Richardson is in the neighborhood too.
Oh. I think it's a lineup check of some sort.
All 4 umpires are going to converse. Well, Joe, you know this kind of stuff better than me. What could they be looking at this point with Norris at first?
Yeah, who was subbed out for?
Byram, the last inning,
Correct.
was pinch hit for, but she's in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, this doesn't. It's some kind of lineup check.
They're talking to Coach Dot Richardson right now.
Oh. Out. It was an illegal substitution. We'll have to get an explanation on this, but it's an illegal substitution officially.
What's your best guess?
She put her in for the wrong person, I think is what it was.
Oh, so Norris came in.
Explanation.
So the wrong sub was given. So Norris was maybe put in for who knows, but not for Crane.
Correct. Yeah. I would like to. I'd like to say I know what just happened, but I think the only people that know are the Oregon coaches and the officials.
Well, we now go to the bottom half of the 8th inning, and what has continued to be a strange ball game with runs taken off the board, with reviews of leaving early and runners in scoring position coming back, and now an illegal substitution ends the inning for the Flames. They had a runner at first with Savannah Jesse coming to the plate, and we'll see if there's any other repercussions from whatever the bad substitution was. But as we sit now, it's 2-2 heading to the Ducks half of this 8th inning here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Curious about the housing market in Central Virginia? The caring, competent, trusted advisors at Carl Miller Realty have over 100 years of combined experience. We are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk with our winning team. That's carlmillerrealty.com.
The Liberty Flames thank Segra for their support. Segra collaborates with companies to offer business-only, carrier-grade connectivity, cybersecurity, voice and cloud solutions tailored to meet their diverse needs. Segra offers these solutions across a fiber network that spans 28 states in the U.S. and is headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. They can be reached at segra.com or 833-GO-SEGRA. Segra, a proud partner of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
You're listening to Liberty Softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Well, it was an illegal substitution. We still don't know exactly what happened, but we think that it might have been the wrong runner was put into the game in the book. Norris came out, and it might have been Hydorn, 19 instead of 14, that was reported to the umpires. Now, my question would be, what does that do for both of those players' eligibility to play later in this game? Are they both out at this point, or is only Norris, or is only Hydorn? I don't know, if that's what had happened. Len Escobar in the circle for the Flames. First pitch to Kedry Luchar is taken for a strike. Infield in. Luchar certainly prone to bunt. Takes a ball, 1-1. No out, nobody on in the bottom of the 8th inning in a 2-2 game. Here's the pitch from Escobar. Inside, just missed. Off speed at 51.
It's the slowest I think we've seen today from Escobar.
Second of the Luchar sisters. 2-1. Ground ball back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Oregon with a runner on and a runner that could certainly be aggressive and try to get to second base.
But we sure she'll have her foot stapled to the base after her sister had 2 miscues that cost them at least a run.
Yeah, this game could have certainly been over long ago if that run would have stood, and also if Paige Dorr doesn't steal a home run away. First pitch to Mackay. Check swing, but she didn't go around. And the count is 1-0. Squares the bunt. The pitch gets back to the screen, though. It goes off the top of the glove of Savannah Jesse back to the netting, and the runner advances. So the game-winning run is now at second base, and you got to think the Flames will probably walk Mackay at this point because she's already been pinch ran for once. Flames are going to have a visit. Casey Fagan-Graham will talk to the pitcher and the infielders. Dot Richardson goes out to the outfield to talk things over. With a 1-0 count to Mackay.
This
it doesn't get any easier because Sinicki is quite good as well. Matter of fact, a better hitter as far as average is concerned, batting in the 4 spot, but it would then put a force at every bag if you were to walk Mackay.
Right, correct.
And if assuming Oregon didn't take her out of the game, which they would have to take her completely out of the game, then she would be at first, and it would set up more potential for a double play with her at first than, say, someone else.
Correct. And again, Luchar, she's going to be extra careful at second, not trying to leave early.
Escobar looks into Mackay, and the pitch is hit deep to center field, but at the track,
Madry makes the catch. The runner will advance. So Liberty does go at Maake, and she advances the runner to third with only one out. Now 60 feet away. So Liberty went after her, and they got her out, but she was able to hit it deep enough to be a productive out. Paige Sinicki, she's 0 for 2 and walked. Infield is in for Liberty. First pitch to Sinicki is taken for a strike.
Got some strong arms in the corner outfield here from Dorr and Root.
An interesting play on a fly ball. The 0-1, high and tight, 1-1. With first base open and that run meaningless at this point, you don't necessarily have to throw anything good to Sinicki in this spot. The 1-1, ball, 2 balls and 1 strike on the off speed. 54 miles an hour. Infield in for Liberty. Outfield in as well. Game-winning runs at third with 1 out. Here's the 2-1, high and outside. This may be a intentional walk. Des Patman is in the on-deck circle. The 3-1, ball 4. Not a bad pitch, just missed maybe a little low. Runners on the corners. But again, there's not a lot of harm in that walk.
Nope.
Runner at first is meaningless. And it's not going to be easy to double off anybody. So I think the play is still at the plate. If this was baseball, it would be a different story. You'd be at double play depth right now. But in softball, the infield is in. Des Patman, first pitch to her. She squares the bunt, pulls back. Runner goes. No throw. And they'll be at second and third with 1 out. So the force comes off the bases, but again, that's somewhat irrelevant. Flames were not going to be able to get 2. The 1-0 is hit hard but foul down the left field line. A hard hit strike, 1-1. Lena Escobar would kill for a strikeout right now. Shockingly, she has not had a strikeout in the entire game. We'll say she's overdue. The 1-1, line drive, base hit, Oregon wins. Des Patman is the hero once more. She had the walk-off homer against Stanford to get Oregon to this point. The walk-off single to end this ball game. And the Flames are going to have to dig out of the hole. Losing this first game of the regional, or the Super Regionals. That's why it's a 3-game series. You gotta win twice. And the Flames certainly have proven to themselves that they belong on this stage. They played great, had their chances. With 8 runners left on base, they certainly could have won this ball game themselves in regulation, but it goes to 8, and Oregon takes the victory in the 8th. We'll take a break and come back with the Coca-Cola post-game show here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Move those coffee chains, Flames fans, and go local. Central Virginia's own Ironclad Coffee Roasters and Baking Company is the premier coffee partner of Liberty Athletics. Pay them a visit at one of their cafes in the Richmond area or at the Richmond International Airport. They'll also ship their specialty grade coffee straight to your door. Visit ironcladcoffee.com, that's www.ironcladcoffee.com, to check out the coffee Flames fans are talking about.
Score big at Haley's Appliance and Haley's Outdoor in Lynchburg with major brands of appliances that will make your house feel like a home and outdoor equipment to have your yard looking its best. Haley's puts customer service first. They deliver and service all of the products they sell and will take care of the process from start to finish. Log on to Haley's.com today for product availability. Haley's Appliance and Haley's Outdoor in Lynchburg is a proud sponsor for Liberty Flames Athletics.
The Liberty Flames thanks Segra for their support. Segra collaborates with companies to offer business-only, carrier-grade connectivity, cybersecurity, voice and cloud solutions tailored to meet their diverse needs. Segra offers these solutions across a fiber network that spans 28 states in the U.S. and is headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. They can be reached at Segra.com or 833-GO-SEGRA. Segra, a proud partner of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit us at centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram.
Been listening to Lady Flame Softball from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames Sports Network. It's time now for the Coca-Cola postgame show, brought to you by Coca-Cola Consolidated. Coke, taste the feeling. Coming up, we'll hear from Lady Flames head coach Doc Richardson. We'll bring you today's player of the game, final stats, and postgame analysis, all right here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Welcome back into Eugene. Tough loss for the Lady Flames. They fall 3-2 in this first game of the Super Regionals. They'll be back at it tomorrow at 4 o'clock local time, 7 o'clock on the East Coast. It's best 2 out of 3 series. Flames will be facing an elimination game tomorrow. Oregon with the luxury of knowing that things don't go well tomorrow, then they have a backup on Sunday. The start time for a potential game on Sunday has not been announced. Imagine that would not be until at some point tomorrow, once there's a better idea of how many game threes there'll be and what TV networks are available. Liberty and Oregon have been moved to ESPN 1 for tomorrow's game. So it will be the featured game in that 7 o'clock hour on the ESPN networks. Tough loss for Liberty. A walk-off RBI single from Des Patman. Again, she was the hero that walked off Stanford to get Oregon to this point. He was 1 for 4 tonight, but a hard hit ball to right center field. Easily scored the runner from third. Kedri Lushar was the game-winning run. She led off the inning, got a single. Flames had their chances in this ball game. Even in the 8th inning, Liberty had a runner on. Now, it was runner at first with 2 outs, but would have loved to have been able to get their swings at that point. And there was an illegal substitution that became the 3rd out of the 8th. So the Flames actually went down 1-2-3 with that substitution error. And the win in this game goes to Chambers. Stacy Chambers came in relief in the 6th inning, and she had 7 straight outs. 1-2-3 in the 7th and the 8th, got the final out of the 6th. Had 1 strikeout in that journey. Oregon got the scoring underway in the 1st inning, but that run came off the board when Kai Luchar came off the base at 3rd when she scored.
on a bunt. A sack bunt attempt actually ended up being a bunt for base hit as well, but that all changed because after review it was determined that Luchar left early, so she was out. Flames got out of that inning with nothing across. In the third inning, 2 unearned runs after an error put Shaw on with 1 out. Then an RBI triple from Luchar, Kai Luchar. A couple of batters later, RBI single from Maake. Stephanie Maake made it 2-0. Again, both of those runs unearned against Escobar. And we stood at 2-0 for a little while. Flames got 1 in the 4th after a single by KK Madry and then an RBI double from Paige Dorr. In the 6th inning, Paige Dorr led off with a single and then a 2-out after she was sacrificed over to second, a 2-out single from Alexia Carrasquillo, who came in to pinch hit, tied the ball game up. At that point, that was the substitution. Sokolsky came out. Grind had started the game for Oregon. Sokolsky pitched the middle innings, and then Chambers came in at that spot in the 6th and was lights out from there on. 7 straight batters. And after the run scored in the 8th, that was her victory. Elena Escobar takes the loss. Tough luck loss by Escobar. 7 1/3 innings pitched, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, but only 1 of them earned. 5 walks in the game, and no strikeouts. That is the one anomaly for Elena. She wasn't able to strike out any of the Oregon hitters. Again, Lindsey Grind started the game, pitched 2 innings, gave up a couple of hits, 3 walks, no runs. Elise Sokolsky pitched 3 2/3 inning, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a couple of walks, did get 1 strikeout. And then Chambers can finish things off with 2 1/3 innings and only 1 hit given up. So that's the way this game is in the books. And we will have an abbreviated post game because of the time of night. Even here on the West Coast, it's now 10:10. So the team is going to try to get back to the hotel just as quickly as possible. Even though it's not a quick turnaround. They play at 4 o'clock local tomorrow, but as far as their brain waves are concerned, it was already a late night game living on East Coast time. And so they're going to try to get out of here just as quickly as possible. Of course, we'll have Coach Dot Richardson on for pregame tomorrow, and we'll get her thoughts on how this game went down and a preview of what's ahead for Liberty. After losing game 1 of the Super Regionals, they're going to have to win 2 in a row. Tomorrow at 4 local, 7 o'clock East Coast, and then we don't know when the game would be on Sunday. With the loss, the Flames are now 50-14. Oregon with the victory, 52-8. The Ducks are 1 win away from their first World Series since 2018. The Flames 2 wins away from getting to their first ever College World Series in Oklahoma City. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the other regional scores and put a bow on this broadcast. Tough loss for Liberty. They fall 3-2 in Game 1 of this Eugene Super Regional here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Are your feet preventing you from living life? Hi, I'm Jonathan Cotton, and you may have heard my Good Feet story, how I love my arch support so much that I bought the store. Since then, thousands of customers have found relief from foot, knee, and back pain. I love to hear their stories of walking, running, and just enjoying their new life pain-free. Don't let foot, knee, or back pain keep you from living the life you love. Come into the Good Feet store for your free fitting and test walk. Visit goodfeet.com for the location nearest you. We look forward to seeing you soon at the Good Feet store.
Lynchburg Nissan is a proud sponsor of Liberty University Athletics. Stop by Lynchburg Nissan now to take advantage of $6,000 off MSRP on select new cars or rates as low as 2.9%. Lynchburg Nissan, home of the million-mile warranty. Nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
Flames Nation, this is Liberty softball head coach and proud Flames Club member, Dot Richardson. I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me in supporting Liberty Athletics' mission to train champions for Christ on and off the field. Your support directly impacts our student athletes and is a valuable part of our team. Membership starts at just $75 and comes with great benefits like access to premium seating, hospitality, and parking privileges. Join today. Visit libertyflamesclub.org.
Owned and operated by a Liberty alum, Larry's Tire and Auto Repair offers complete auto service, including tires, preventive maintenance, and more. Larry's Tire carries all major brands and is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Larry's Tire has 2 locations in Lynchburg and at Able Tire in Concord. And coming soon, Larry's Tire will expand to a new service center in Forest. More information on Larry's Tire is available at larrystireservice.com.
You're listening to Liberty Softball at the NCAA Super Regionals on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The game is over, but we're still talking Flames softball. You're listening to the Coca-Cola postgame show on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Well, a wild game to begin this Eugene Super Regional. The Flames fall 3-2 in extras. So in the 8th inning, it was Des Patman with an RBI single to walk it off for the home team. I'm going to take a scan of the Frank Good Builders out-of-town scoreboard, but also taking a look at all the comments that we've gotten from folks on Facebook and YouTube. I can't scroll back far enough. There's so many. It's unbelievable. I can't get to every name and I can't get to every city, but I'll give you a couple of ones as I go along here. Everywhere from New Jersey to South Texas to Wisconsin, Pittsburgh, San Antonio, Kansas. Some back in Lynchburg that are listening along. Southeast North Carolina, Maine. Good old Appomattox. Florida. Concord, upstate New York, San Antonio, let's see, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, Montana represented, Long Island, Buffalo, Kentucky. I mean, it's crazy. I've skipped a few along the way, just trying to get you a few of the highlights. Baton Rouge, Thibodaux, Louisiana, Saltville, Virginia. I know Saltville well. Rocky Mount, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, Michigan. I mean, it just keeps going here. Pakistan. Got a Facebook viewer in Pakistan. How about that? Hawaii, I think I saw. L.A., Kansas City, Texas, Roanoke, Pennsylvania. I saw Alaska on here as well. We saw some listeners from overseas. Shreveport, yeah, Australia, Tasmania in Australia. That's got to be, well, I don't know. Pakistan might be further. Probably is. Yeah, Pakistan's pretty close to as far as you can get. Las Vegas, Indiana, Rustburg, Ennis, Texas. Yeah, Montana and Australia are the two and Pakistan. How about that? Juneau, Alaska. That was the one I was looking for. Amber's in Juneau, Alaska. So we've got folks listening from all over the place. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you're Flames fans, we wish we had a better score to report as Liberty loses this game 3-2. And it really could have gone either way. In fairness, it could have certainly been an Oregon victory early because they scored a run in the first. It was taken off the board on that challenge. They also had a home run that was robbed by Paige Dorr. So they could have won it in regulation, but the Flames also had their opportunities. Had runners at first and third. A double steal went awry. That could have been a run scored if it would have been executed in that spot. Flames finished up. Let's see. Last I saw, they'd left 8 runners on. Not sure if they'd left any on since then. No, I don't think they had since then because Chambers was mowing everybody down. But yeah, 8 runners left on for the Flames in the ball game. A couple of spots where they got 1 run that they might have been able to get more and they just couldn't quite capitalize. But the good news is it's a best-of-3 series and they're going to have another chance tomorrow. 4 o'clock local, 7 o'clock Eastern, and if you're following along and watching on ESPN while you're listening to us, it's on ESPN1, the main ESPN outlet. Tomorrow it had been on ESPNU for today's game. So we'll take a look at the bracket real quick and tell you what else is going on as far as scores from the Super Regionals. UCLA lost to South Carolina, so the Gamecocks are 1 game away from advancing. Texas Tech swept their series with Florida State, so they're on to the World Series for the first time. Ole Miss is up 1-0 on Arkansas, so number 4 seed is on the verge of elimination. Oklahoma beat Alabama, so Oklahoma and their 5-peat is 1 win away from making it back to OKC. Nebraska beat Tennessee, so Tennessee, the 7th seed and a host, is on the brink of elimination. Texas and Clemson are tied 1-1 in the series. They're one of those series, one of the 2 series that started on Thursday. Florida beat Georgia, so Florida leads that series 1-0. So 1 team has advanced, that's Texas Tech. Several teams obviously will have a chance to advance tomorrow, and 1 series is currently tied, so the winner-take-all final game with Texas and Clemson is tomorrow as well. You can follow along on NCAA.com for all the schedule and information on the television outlets and so on. Well, we're going to finish up the broadcast now. We'll catch Coach Dot Richardson for pregame tomorrow, just with the lateness of this game, 10:20 locally. Of course, 1:20 back on the East Coast, which even though you've been out here a couple of days, your brain is still kind of operating on that time a bit. So Flames are going to try to vacate Jane Sanders Stadium just as quickly as possible to get preparation for tomorrow underway, and the beginning of that preparation is sleeping. One last time, the final score 3-2. Our Thompson Brooks Insurance player of the game for Liberty, Elena Escobar, 7 1/3 innings pitched, only gave up 1 earned run in this ball game. But unfortunately, 2 unearned runs, and that adds up to the 3 that Oregon needed to win. Thanks to everybody who tuned in on the Liberty Flames app, libertyflames.com, YouTube and Facebook. Great numbers. Oh my goodness. You guys love you some Liberty softball, and we're happy to be able to bring you the coverage here on LFSN. We'll be back at it tomorrow about 15 minutes before the top of the hour for that game, 7 Eastern. So for Joe Carmany, for Alan York and Nick Pierce back at the network, and Louis James and his engineering crew that keeps us on the air, this is Jamie Hall saying once again that the Flames fall 3-2 here against Oregon, and they'll play an elimination game tomorrow here in Eugene. Start time just after 7 o'clock East Coast. Till then, this is Jamie Hall saying so long and God bless.
Thanks for listening to live coverage of Liberty University softball from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flames Sports Network. This broadcast of Liberty softball has been brought to you by Joe Yock with Alcova Mortgage, showing you the way home. By Aqua Pros, pools, hot tubs, and heart. Carillion Clinic, inspiring better health. By Carter Bank, life lived full. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling. Crossroads Family Dentistry. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By 11 West. First Bank and Trust, the bank that puts you first. Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Frank Good Builders. Freedom First Credit Union, where people bank for good. Gentry Lock Attorneys. The Good Feet Store. By Haley's Appliance and Outdoor. Liberty Softball has also been brought to you by Ironclad Coffee Roasters, the finest hand-picked specialty coffees from around the world. Serving you at Candler Station in Lynchburg. Jason Porter with Legacy Realty and Development. Larry's Tire and Auto Repair. Expect the best service, prices, and care. By Carl Miller Realty. Caring, competent, trusted advisors. The Liberty Bookstore, the official online store of Liberty Athletics. Lynchburg Nissan. Nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Peary Family Dentistry. Century Exteriors, providing roofing, gutters, windows, and home remodeling. Visit them at centuryexteriors.com. By Segra, a proud partner of Liberty University. Segra offers customized business technology solutions. Learn more at segra.com. And by Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. The general manager of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner is Justin Metzger. Network director, Alan York. Coordinating producers, Kyle Sykes and Nick Pierce. I'm staff announcer Jeff Lawrence with a special thanks to Liberty University Athletics Director Ian McCaw, Senior Associate Athletics Director Robert Goodman, and Assistant Strategic Communications Director Joe Carmany. Liberty Flames Softball is an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.